Chapter 569. Meanwhile, Mount Imperial Sea. Zhang Tao sat on the peak of a tall mountain, gazing at the smoky land thousands of miles away. His eyes were like the sun and moon. Black spatial rifts would occasionally slash across his torso, leaving behind a trail of blood. Opposite him, in the void, a figure stood proudly and said playfully, "King Wu, I heard that the grandson of the Nether King is participating this time. It's a pity that I couldn't kill your grandson 6 years ago. This time, I don't think I can go back." Zhang Tao remained silent. The figure in the air smiled again and said, "King Wu, it's so boring to just wait here. Do you want to play something interesting?" Zhang Tao looked at him and said faintly, "How about betting your life?" The figure on the other side froze. Zhang Tao's eyes were deep as he said with a mocking tone, "Why don't we have a fight to liven things up?" "King Wu, there's no point in saying all this." The person opposite him chuckled and shook his head. "Even if I really bet with you, would you dare? It doesn't matter if this king dies here, but what about you?" "I won't die." "Ha ha ha." The person on the other side laughed, no longer dwelling on this matter, and said, "Since we have nothing to do anyway, don't you people find it boring to be stuck here all the time? It's rare for us to have free time. Since it's only once every 3 years, let's forget about it. Let's see how the youngsters perform." Zhang Tao said directly, "If you want to play, sure. Let's bet on which side has more survivors. How about it?" Zhang Tao continued, "Do you dare?" The shadow on the other side smiled faintly and said, "Don't bet on others, just bet on the people of my Monster Plant Royal Court." The Monster Plant Royal Court had 128 people that entered this time, apart from the Monster Life Royal Court. The other factions were not worth mentioning. Betting on the ratio. In the past, the Monster Plant Royal Court survival ratio was more than 70%. Could humans do it? Out of 30 people, only 20 could survive. Not to mention this batch. Even when there were fewer people, not so many humans could survive. 50% was the normal ratio. The look in Zhang Tao's eyes deepened. He said calmly, "Sure. Duke, why? What do you want to bet?" "If I win, make way, and let me explore the land of rebirth." "You're courting death." In the next moment, Zhang Tao's gaze was as sharp as a knife as he stared coldly at the other party. King Huai did not seem to mind. He chuckled and said, "Don't worry, this king will not kill indiscriminately." Zhang Tao ignored him. When one entered the absolute peak realm, sometimes things would be completely messed up. A peerless powerhouse had entered Earth. Even if Earth was guarded by a peerless powerhouse, he was not afraid of death and could destroy the entire China. This was a bet that he could not afford to take, and he would not take. "Fine." King Huai chuckled and said, "Then let's bet on your ultimate technique. How about it?" Zhang Tao looked at him and said slowly, "Can you afford it?" The ultimate skill of a peerless expert was of great importance. Li Zhen had offered 100 billion to sell it to Fang Ping. That was really equivalent to giving it to him, not for money. Ultimate source martial arts were related to the origin path of the absolute peak. The absolute peak might not even impart it to their descendants. Many of the apex descendants of Suppressing Star City had only learned superficial knowledge and not the true ultimate arts. Zhang Tao's ultimate skill involved his path. If the catacombs powerhouses studied it thoroughly, they might be able to find the flaws in his path and kill Zhang Tao easily. Lord Huai chuckled and said, "My territory borders 2 outer realms. So what if I let you have it?" Zhang Tao remained silent. "Not enough." "The 4 outer domains." "Not enough." Lord Huai's voice turned cold, and he sneered, "King Wu, you overestimate yourself." Zhang Tao was still silent. Seeing this, Lord Huai suddenly laughed and said, "I don't want your ultimate skill. Just let Heavenly King, subduing, provide me with a wisp of origin chi." Don't worry, it's just a wisp of origin chi. It won't let Heavenly King subduing's origin path leak. Zhang Tao looked at him coldly. After a long time, he said, "You still haven't given up. What's the harm in trying?" Lord Huai smiled faintly. Heavenly King subduing himself won't enter, but he won't let others enter either. What's the logic behind that? What's more, when Netherworld King first entered, didn't Heavenly King subduing act like a blind man? Why do you have to deceive yourself? Zhang Tao fell silent again. Lord Huai smiled faintly. One domain. As long as you don't make a move, you can do whatever you want. You can gather everyone below the true king level and enter in exchange for a wisp of origin chi. Something else. Zhang Tao shook his head. He would not make a decision for the Li family's elder ancestor. At this moment, a figure appeared. The next moment, the figure said, "I agree on behalf of my elder ancestor." Netherworld King. Lord Huai's expression was solemn. He smiled and said, "Netherworld King, I will naturally trust you. However, don't use your origin chi to make up for it. I want Heavenly King subduings." "Of course. Very well then." Lord Huai laughed and instantly disappeared from the spot. As soon as he left, Zhang Tao looked at Li Zhen and frowned slightly. "Why did you agree? Why not?" Li Zhen looked into the distance and smiled faintly. "It's just a wisp of origin chi. Besides, we might not lose. If we can destroy another cave, it will also reduce the pressure on us. He's up to no good. He didn't say that the palace won't send people." "I know," Li Zhen said calmly. "Even if the palace sends people, it won't be unlimited. Which cave to choose will depend on the situation. If it really comes to a critical moment, and we launch an even larger battle to pacify a cave, some casualties will be inevitable. There aren't many divine generals under Lord Huai's command." After that, Li Zhen said again, "Yiming and the others, I don't know if they can return safely." Zhang Tao did not speak. Li Zhen glanced at him and smiled again. "Those from martial arts universities, what do you think? Don't ask about the past. Just look at the present." "Zhang Tao, Fang Ping has a storage ring?" Zhang Tao nodded. Li Zhen said again, "Qin Fengqing has entered the bounded boundaries." Zhang Tao nodded again. "Martial artist resurrected. Martial artist resurrected. Who is it? Interesting, interesting." Li Zhen laughed. After a long time, he said, "Golden Bone's skull, bone marrow mentality. Isn't this resurrection ability a little too much? They have an inexhaustible supply of imperishable matter, and they've managed to come back from the jaws of death time and time again. These people are getting more and more interesting." "So what?" "Yes, so what?" Li Zhen sighed softly. "Messy, too messy. There's not much meaning in looking back at the past." Zhang Tao did not speak again. He looked into the distance and fell into silence. Li Zhen did not stay for long either. He quickly disappeared from the spot, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Only after Li Zhen left did Zhang Tao murmur softly, "Kid, kill more. I'm counting on you." As for whether he would kill or not, with that dog's temper, a few provocations from the catacombs martial artists, and no rank 7 overseeing, would he be able to hold it in? Even if he could hold it in, would he be able to hold it in when there were a lot of good stuff? Zhang Tao thought about it and suddenly chuckled. "You want to be MCMAU's vice chancellor? I'll satisfy you. A martial artist with something to worry about is more interesting. A martial artist with no worries would be much more casual. He would have no scruples and nothing mattered. A martial artist with something to worry about would have perseverance and faith in his heart. Many things could be guided according to the situation. The king's battleground." Old Wang returned and said quickly, "Du Hong and the others went north. There are constant beast roars in the west." There's no danger in the east 50 li. Fong Ping nodded and said quickly, then run west. He had just finished speaking when Jiang Chao, who was covered in mud, said in a daze, isn't it the east? There's no danger in the east. Fong Ping glanced at him like he was looking at an idiot. After a while, he said, nonsense. The unknown danger is more dangerous. How can there be no danger in the king's battleground? If we run west, the demons can still stop the pursuers. As for us, forget about the excrement at the summit. There are many ways to escape from the demons. Fong Ping could not be bothered to talk to him. He continued to replenish his mentality while saying, there's about 10 minutes left. Fatty, you can go now. Jiang Chao wanted to say something, but stopped. He thought for a while and said, Fong Ping, I think it's still too dangerous. 30 mentality-vitality fusion can even kill a grandmaster if they work together. You guys, I know what I'm doing. If you don't go, I won't save you later. Jiang Chao was speechless. He paused and said, then I'll run west. I won't go far. I'll wait for you guys about 80 li. Fong Ping. If there's nothing else, remember to look for me. If there's a lot of people after you, you don't have to look for me. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He waved his hand and told him to scram. Jiang Chao did not waste any more words. He walked for a while and suddenly ran back, gritting his teeth. If you're really being chased by 3 to 5 mentality-vitality fusion martial artists and you can't run away, you can look for me. But I'll make it clear. If I help you get rid of the pursuers, you have to protect me from behind. Fong Ping looked at him strangely. He said in amusement, are you talking about your ultimate weapon? Jiang Chao did not utter a word. Fong Ping said again, interesting. I'm starting to suspect that you're the son of your family's elder ancestor. You're a junior who's been separated by countless generations. Why is he so nice to you? Jiang Chao said exasperatedly, what do you know? I take after my elder ancestor. Okay? My elder ancestor is also a fatty, but the descendants of the Jiang family are all handsome men. They're so freakishly handsome that they're inhuman. The elder ancestor doesn't like handsome men. Even when the subduing heavenly king is more handsome than him, he still wants to pick a fight. Cough, cough. Anyway, I'm quite similar to my elder ancestor. The elder ancestor likes me very much. You wouldn't understand, even if I told you. It's called being distant relatives. Fong Ping and the others looked at each other, then burst out laughing. This fatty was not joking. Was he? Warlord was a fatty? All right, that was not important. When one reached the pinnacle, would one care about whether others were handsome or not? If this warlord elder ancestor was like what Fatty said, then he was also an interesting person. Jiang Chao ignored him. This time, he really ran away. As he ran, he said, remember, don't come looking for me if there are too many people. No matter how powerful the ultimate weapon is, it still depends on the person using it. I'm not strong enough. I can't take on a lot of people. Got it. By the time Fong Ping replied, Fatty was already out of sight. After he left, Fong Ping took out the crystal in his arms and glanced at it. He smiled. This is quite an interesting thing. On the crystal, there were 4 red dots. 2 of them were gathered together. One was in the northwest direction. That was Old Yao, who was still luring the monsters. The other was moving. Wang Jinyang took out his crystal and looked at it. There were also red dots on it. At that moment, Fong Ping suddenly put the crystal into his storage space. The next moment, Wang Jinyang's crystal was empty. There was nothing on it. Yours is indeed the main control core. If you put it away, the rest of ours will be useless. This fatty is a smart person. He knows what to do and what not to do. Just as Fong Ping said this, Jiang Chao, who had already run far away, took out his crystal and glanced at it. There was nothing on it. Seeing this, Jiang Chao ran carefully as he murmured, "Storage ring? These fellows have courted death so many times. Even Grandpa Yang died, but they are still alive. They really have some good luck." The elder ancestor is right. In turbulent times, there will always be big shots rising. Mother asterisk cur. It won't be these fellows this time, will it? The key thing is following the big shots in the future might not be enough to save your life. Those who died were all lackeys. When Commander Li and Minister Zhang rose to power, most of the lackeys around them died. What a headache. Should I continue following them? Jiang Chao rubbed his head. After a while, he said, "We can't be too close. Keep a distance. If we're too close, we'll die faster. If we're not close, we'll offend people and die faster. We have to know when to stop. I sold them well just now. That counts as an investment, right?" As Jiang Chao said that, he suddenly chuckled. It's not bad to be an investor. Instead of fighting and breaking through enemy lines, I'll be a behind-the-scenes person. When I get back, I'll move the Jiang family storeroom to them as an investment. I wonder if I can make a fortune in the future? I need to give this plan a name. Big Shot Cultivation Plan. Pinnacle Cultivation Plan. But these fellows, who has the highest chance of entering the pinnacle? Fong Ping seems to have the highest chance at the moment, but this fellow is too reckless. He always feels like he won't live long. Under normal circumstances, those who perform well in the beginning are all passers-by later on. Could it be Li Hansong, that unreliable guy? Jiang Chao's head hurt from thinking about it. Forget it. He would not think about it for now. Also, even if these fellows really entered the pinnacle, would they be as powerful as the elder ancestor? If they were not as powerful as the elder ancestor, it did not seem like they would be able to change the situation, right? However, the new pinnacle powerhouses were very powerful. Li Zhen and Zhang Tao were both the new generation's pinnacle powerhouses, but they were ridiculously powerful. Even the elder ancestor felt that he might not be able to defeat them. Although these pinnacle powerhouses had never fought before, at their level, they could still sense it. In this era, there won't be a few powerful pinnacles, will there? Naturally, Fong Ping knew nothing about Jiang Chao's thoughts. If he really knew, Fong Ping would have no objections. Move your family's storeroom over first. He did not have time to care about these things. At this moment, the Sun City at the entrance looked even more real. 5 bloody suns hung in the sky above Sun City. As for Fong Ping, he looked like he could not take it anymore. His face was covered in sweat. "Old Wang, if I really self-destruct this thing, I'm afraid I'll explode until I'm dizzy. When that happens, I'll have to rely on you guys. Other things aside, you must get your hands on the divine weapons in time." This time, I don't ask for much. Snatching 20 divine weapons is enough. Those fellows might also have a trump card to save their lives. Be careful. Jiang Chao has it, and they won't be too bad either. Don't look at those people in Star Town as weak. When it comes to a life or death situation, you've all seen Yang Feng's performance last time. That kill word is extremely powerful. I'm afraid it has the power to kill a mentality-vitality fusion. But it takes time. I've realized that external objects are external objects after all. They need time to prepare. Without giving the opponent time to prepare, even if he has a big killer weapon, it'll be useless. Having said that, Fong Ping said again, "As for splitting the loot, I want half." Li Hansong nodded and said, "Old Jiao, 20%. Old Wang, you and I will split half." Wang Jinyang did not say anything. He nodded. The reason why Yao Qingjun could let Li Hansong say more was that the fellow's mentality was strong. He could cause great damage to powerhouses who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion. As for him and Li Hansong, they could fight peak rank 6. It would be difficult for them to achieve mentality-vitality fusion. Even so, if they managed to snatch 20 divine weapons in one go, he would be able to get 3. That was more than enough. It was customary for Fong Ping to take the majority. No one had any objections. Without Fong Ping, it would be difficult for them to achieve anything big. Without saying anything more, Li Hansong had already set up a hiding place. Wang Jinyang went to support Yao Qingjun. Fong Ping, on the other hand, continued to work on his materialization. He was thinking if he could change the appearance of his materialization. For example, he could make it look like the one outside the passageway. This way, those people who entered, if their mentality was not as strong as his, might not notice the abnormality. It doesn't need to be too realistic. Just a moment will do. Fong Ping tried to use his mentality to change the appearance of Sun City. In the end, he realized that it was a very simple matter. His Sun City was not realistic enough. The only thing that looked like a real object was that house. Everything else was illusory. It was not difficult to change an illusory object like this. Sun City changed little by little. Gradually, it blended into the environment. Li Hansong stepped in and looked around. After a while, he said, "It's a little strange, but it's their first time entering. They might not feel anything. That's good." At this time, Wang Jinyang rushed back again. He said quickly, "Old Yao has lured a team of more than 50 monsters over here. They'll be here in 3 minutes, but there's only one rank, 7. Enough." Fong Ping nodded. He said immediately, "Let's hide first. In about 5 minutes, the next wave of people will enter. Brothers, whether we can make a fortune this time depends on this wave. Otherwise, when they disperse, some of them will break through to rank 7. Then we'll be in trouble. If these people really broke through to rank 7, Fong Ping might not be able to kill them. Defeating Tuo Man last time was not bad, but it was a one-on-one fight. If another rank 7 came, under the joint attack of the two, it would be normal to kill Fong Ping in one move. While Fong Ping and the others were hiding, outside the entrance, a powerhouse said loudly, "Enter the king's battleground. Kill the resurrected martial artists first. Leave some behind. Escort them to explore the ruins of the resurrected martial artists. Everyone is our divine continent's prodigy. We should work together." In the crowd, the people from the monster plant's royal court echoed one after another. The people from the other royal courts were not interested. Feng Meisheng said lightly, "Uncle Wang, you don't have to say any more. The resurrected martial artists are nothing to worry about." There were only 28 people. 6 of them were at Mentality Vitality Unity. Their strength was only 1/5 of the monster plant's royal courts. There was no need for the people from the other royal courts to attack. As soon as Feng Meisheng finished speaking, the golden-armored powerhouse laughed and said, "Meisheng, bring back their heads." "Definitely." After saying that, the golden-armored man said loudly, "Enter." The next moment, more than 100 figures walked toward the entrance. As Feng Meisheng entered, he laughed and said, "The game has begun." Having said that, the figures of these people disappeared into the entrance. Not far away, Commander Zhou and the others did not look too good. This time, the powerhouse in charge of guarding the entrance and the leading young leader were very hostile toward human martial artists. In the past, although they were hostile toward each other, under normal circumstances, these people did not treat human martial artists as their opponents. The monster plants and the Monster Life Royal Court were their biggest opponents. Unexpectedly, this time, the other party's first target was the human martial artists. I hope a few more can survive, Commander Zhou and the others muttered in their hearts. In half an hour, these people should have gone far away. As long as they were careful from now on, everyone would be looking for opportunities. The people from the monster plant's royal court might not be looking for human martial artists all over the world. After a month, how many people could come out would depend on luck. The reason why it was a month was because rank 6 martial artists would be greatly affected after staying for a month. At this time, they would usually quit. After quitting, they could recuperate for a period of time before entering again. There was no limit to this. At the same time, Yao Chungjun severely injured a rank 6 monster with one blow. Then, he quickly broke through the encirclement. In the next moment, Yao Chungjun disappeared on the spot. At the entrance, a rank 5 monster that was frozen in place exploded instantly. The smell of blood permeated the air instantly. The monsters that were about to chase in the direction where Yao Chungjun disappeared saw this scene. Violent auras emanated from their bodies. Then, they all pounced toward the monster that exploded. These monsters had chaotic minds and were easily stimulated. Even high-ranked monsters did not have the ability to think. Unlike normal monsters, once they reached the high-ranked, even if they were not very intelligent, they would not be too stupid. Just as the demonic beasts rushed over, a few figures flashed through the barrier at the entrance. Seeing the demonic beasts pouncing over, some of the experts who had achieved blood and essence as one immediately took action. Under the joint efforts of a few people, they killed 4 to 5 demonic beasts. In the blink of an eye, why are there demonic beasts at the entrance? Didn't they say that the energy at the entrance isn't chaotic enough, and the demonic beasts here don't like to come here? Don't think too much. Prince Feng seems to have a commander-level demonic beast. Feng Mieshing, who had just stepped out of the entrance, looked around and frowned slightly. He felt a little uncomfortable. The demonic beasts in the distance seemed to be separated by a thin film. However, this was the first time he had come to the sovereign battlefield, so he didn't have time to think about it. Feng Mieshing said calmly, "It's just a commander-level creature with a confused mind and can only rely on its physical body. It's not very strong." He was confident that he could kill such a demonic beast in a one-on-one fight, so there was nothing to worry about. Feng Miesheng did not want to waste any more time. He quickly said, "Kill these demonic beasts and find the revived martial artist immediately." Yes, among the crowd, some of the experts who had achieved essence and blood fusion stepped forward and began to fight against the berserk beasts. Feng Miesheng did not join in. He looked around and frowned again. Underground, Feng Ping, on the other hand, was waiting for time. He had counted earlier. There seemed to be 128 people in the monster plant's royal court. Right now, only 120 people had entered. He had to wait a little longer. When all of them had come out, they would self-destruct and block the entrance's boundary wall at the same time, so that these people would not run back and inform the others. In any case, he would wait until they were done fighting. Even if these people went back, Feng Ping would not care. He was worried that the catacombs would not abide by the rules. Forget about letting the high ranks in. If more than 100 people from the monster plant's royal court entered, with so many people, Feng Ping and the rest would really be in danger. 127, 128. They're all here. The next moment, Feng Ping gritted his teeth and roared in his heart. Explode. It was at this moment that Feng Mieshing's body glowed. Feng Mieshing's expression changed. He soared into the sky and shouted, "Retreat!" However, there were not many who could retreat in time. Many of them were still fighting with the demons. Some of them did not even have time to react. They only saw 5 blood-colored suns appearing out of thin air. In the blink of an eye, 5 blood-colored suns exploded. Boom! At this moment, the void shook. Chaotic energy tides raged. The monsters' roars were endless. In the crowd, some of the martial artists who were watching others kill monsters earlier were still smiling. Their smiles froze instantly. A rank 7 powerhouse's mentality self-destruction was much more powerful than the mentality suppression. Fong Ping had prepared for more than 20 minutes. The 5 blood-colored suns that he condensed were not weaker than an upper stage rank 7 martial artists all-out mentality intimidation. He was not a rank 7, but his mentality was indeed rank 7. At this moment, more than 10 people's mentality was destroyed instantly. Under mentality vitality fusion, mentality had not reached the stage where it could be released externally. How could they withstand such an attack? Some of their bodies glowed, slightly. That was the effect of the mentality prohibition accessory. Even so, these people were bleeding from their orifices. Their faces were pale. Among the crowd, only a few powerhouses who had achieved mentality vitality fusion could withstand the power of this large-scale self-destruction, even without the mentality prohibition accessory. However, their mentality was shaken, and they were heavily injured instantly. Damn it! In midair, Feng Mieshing, who had escaped a step earlier, was furious. He was no longer as calm and collected as he was before. At this moment, more than 10 people were killed instantly. More than 30 people's mentality was also heavily injured. A team of more than 120 people had just entered the King battleground, and they had lost 1/3 of their strength. What infuriated him even more was, where were the enemies? Kill! Feng Mieshing roared. He did not see the enemies, but he saw those frenzied monsters. Some of the monsters that were not dead were still attacking their people. These monsters did not care even if their mentality was heavily injured. This was because they did not have any rationality to begin with. In a fit of rage, Feng Mieshing threw a punch. A rank 6 monster exploded instantly. Everyone leave this place! Feng Mieshing roared again. This place was hiding danger. In fact, he did not need to remind them. The moment Fong Ping self-destructed his mentality, another wave of mentality intimidation came toward them. This wave of mentality intimidation was more targeted. It was to intimidate the injured martial artists. Some of them were already heavily injured. Their eyes glazed over instantly. At this moment, 2 silhouettes suddenly burst out from the ground. One was waving a fist. The other was wielding a saber. Both of them were extremely fast. Puff, puff, puff. A series of sounds of weapons piercing bones could be heard. In the blink of an eye, 7 to 8 people were beheaded. It's you guys! Be *starred. Feng Mieshing's eyes were bloodshot. He leaped into the air, holding a long halberd in his hand, and charged toward them instantly. The others had also reacted. In a fit of rage, they charged toward the 2 people who had already broken out from the ground. At this moment, the weapons beside the dead martial artists suddenly shot up and flew toward a place not far away. Fong Ping's face was pale. He was a distance away from them. He manipulated his mentality and quickly collected the weapons. He did not even bother to check how many weapons there were. Fong Ping did not keep them in his storage space either. He took the weapons and disappeared without a trace in the blink of an eye. Feng Mieshing and the others were still surrounding Wang Jinyang, and Wang Jinyang when Fong Ping disappeared in the blink of an eye. Chapter 570. Some of you kill him. Feng Mieshing roared after flicking Li Hansong away with his halberd. Among the crowd, more than 10 martial artists immediately chased after Fong Ping in the direction of his escape. The moment these people leaped out of the crowd, their expressions changed drastically. Boom! In the void, a small city fell and exploded instantly. In the distance, Fong Ping's silhouette appeared. Like a flash of lightning, Fong Ping appeared in front of these people in the blink of an eye, roaring, "Old Yao!" Rumble! A stretch of ruins descended, suppressing these people once again. The rank, 7 Changdao in Fong Ping's hand, slashed out the image of the fallen gods. Uffed. Heads fell one after another. Fong Ping's face was pale. He grabbed a few divine weapons and shouted, "Kill them!" As soon as he said that, Feng Miexing was enraged. In the end, the 2 people who were sent flying by him and seemed to be heavily injured did not even look back, sprinting toward the west. Underground, Yao Chengjun also leaped into the air, flying toward the west together with Fong Ping and the rest. Before they left, the ruins descended again, crashing down. The rank 7 monster took the opportunity to swallow one of them in one gulp. The other monster beasts attacked one after another. As for Fong Ping and the rest who had gone far away, these monsters did not care much. Bastard! Feng Miexing was furious. These people actually ran away. He understood the human language. The leader said to kill them, but in the end, he ran away without looking back. "Chase after them!" Feng Miexing roared, tearing through the air. Behind him, more than 10 powerhouses who had achieved mentality vitality followed immediately. The rest did not chase after them. Some of them continued to fight the monsters. Under the joint efforts of the remaining 6 mentality vitality powerhouses and many peak martial artists, the battle stopped after 7 to 8 minutes. The rank 7 monster was also smashed into pieces by the crowd. A young man who was similarly dressed in luxurious clothes was currently livid. Beside him, a mentality vitality powerhouse reported carefully, "Prince Huai is dead, dead. Speak, 34 people died." This mentality vitality powerhouse's head was almost touching the ground. How long had it been since they entered? 34 people died. 8 mentality vitality powerhouses died this time. Damn it, damn bastards. The young man was also furious. He had just entered, yet he had already lost more than a quarter of his men. Not only that, but many people's psychic energy was also heavily damaged. These were the elites of the royal court, prodigies. As long as these 100 or so people did not die, at least close to 100 high ranks could be born. Prince Huai's face was ashen. He looked in the direction that Feng Miexing and his men had gone. His eyes were cold as he growled, "Let's go after them." "Prince Huai, should we send someone back to report?" "Bastard." Prince Huai slammed his palm down, his eyes cold as he said, "So many of us have been killed right after we entered. Now, before the others have even entered, you want us to embarrass ourselves in front of the various royal courts. This time, if you encounter any martial artists from the various dynasties and sects, kill them all." If the Monster Plant Royal Court died more, and the other families died less, then they would lose face for the Monster Plant Royal Court. After losing so much face in front of the various great royal courts, could the old ancestor still look favorably upon him? He was not the only one. Everyone present was going to be in trouble. Stupid. Now, the only thing they needed to do was to kill and cause the other parties to suffer heavy losses. Only then would they be able to preserve their reputation. A few people from the land of rebirth had killed so many people, and they still had the face to go out and say it. Everyone trembled with fear and hurriedly began to clean up. The so-called cleaning up was to destroy the corpses and destroy the evidence. Very soon, the corpses were all disposed of. Many people's eyes were dark. So many people had died at once. If they went back, they might be in trouble. Everyone said no more, following Prince Huai toward the west. At the same time, in the west, Fong Ping said angrily, "Mother of Asterisk her, I only killed a few of you, and you're still chasing." Believe it or not, I won't run anymore. This time, coming to the land of rebirth, he had planned everything. He would not run anymore. They were all martial artists of the same rank. He, Fong Ping, was invincible among the same rank. Not only did he overpower humans, but he was also the same in the catacombs. Now, he had only been in for half an hour, and he had to King run again. Li Hansong panted heavily, saying intermittently, "There are still 16. All of them are mentality-vitality fusion. If you don't run, are you sure you can win?" 16 of them were mentality-vitality fusion, and there were still pursuers behind. If you were entangled for a while, you would be in big trouble. Moreover, the leader, Feng Miesheng, was extremely powerful. Earlier, he and Old Wang had exchanged less than 10 moves with the other party. Although he had the intention of taking the opportunity to escape, the other party was really strong, rupturing his internal organs in just a few moves. Fong Ping's face was pale. "What are you afraid of? Have I ever been afraid of anyone of the same rank? No matter how many people there are, they're all useless. Wait for another minute. Let me recover. I'll blow them all up." After a few consecutive self-detonations of mentality, Fong Ping could not take it anymore. At his level, after preparing for a long time for self-detonation, the backlash was too strong. The first strike had almost caused his core house to explode. Beside him, Yao Qingjuan's face was also slightly pale. He glanced at those people who were still chasing after them and said quickly, "I've exhausted a lot of energy, and I can't make up for it with mentality-vitality fusion. Fong Ping, find a place for me to hide later." "Get lost," Fong Ping cursed. Old Yao did not want to hide, but he felt that he had become a burden. He could not achieve mentality-vitality fusion, and his mentality recovery speed was extremely slow. At this time, his combat strength was severely damaged, and he might not be able to hold on. Fong Ping's gaze was cold. "Don't worry, even without mentality, you're no worse than a peak rank 6. Oh, right, you can try using that weapon of yours. It shouldn't be too bad." As he said that, Fong Ping turned around and swept a glance. Behind him, Feng Miesheng's eyes were icy cold. He shouted coldly, "You can't run away." This was the place where kings fought, and there were catacombs martial artists here. This place was full of danger. Fong Ping and the rest wanted to escape the pursuit of more than 10 mentality-vitality fusion martial artists. It was as difficult as climbing to the sky. "Useless thing. Do you think you have the right to bark at me? I've just slaughtered a bunch of you. Does it feel good? Prince, king my ass. You dog, fight me one-on-one if you have the guts. I can't even take 3 moves from a piece of trash like you." Fong Ping was full of disdain and abuse. Behind him, Feng Miesheng's speed increased by 30%. Fong Ping let out a humph. Feng Miesheng was fast, but not as fast as him. Most importantly, he still had to take care of Old Wang and the rest. Among Old Wang and the rest, Ironhead was the slowest. Even if he had been cultivating his stepping techniques, his speed was still slow. He was not as fast as Feng Miesheng and the rest. After cursing for a while, Fong Ping said, "How's your recovery?" Old Wang nodded. "Almost. Me too." Yao Qingjun said quickly, "I'm fine." Other than his mentality that had not recovered, he was not injured. Fong Ping turned around again, licked his lips, and said, "Old Wang, can you and Ironhead stop Feng Miesheng?" Wang Jinyang was silent for a moment, then said quickly, "1 minute. That's enough. Old Yao, can you erupt your mental strength again?" "Yes. All right, if you do it, I'll do it too. We'll take the opportunity to kill a few people. I'll let them keep chasing us." After they finished discussing, Fong Ping stopped abruptly and shouted, "Split up and run." As soon as he said that, Feng Miesheng and the rest behind him immediately formed a circle. In the end, They had just split up and formed a circle when Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong burst out, charging toward Feng Miesheng. "You're asking for it." On Feng Miesheng's halberd, a dazzling glow erupted. The halberd swept toward the two of them. The void rumbled, and energy exploded. Boom! After a few consecutive explosions, Li Hansong's fists were like shadows blasting the void. The golden glow was like the sun. Wang Jinyang turned into a blood-colored god of war, wielding his saber and hacking. Strange phenomena appeared in the sky. Ridiculous! Feng Miesheng sneered. His halberd was as steady as a mountain, sweeping across the sky. One strike from the halberd caused the two of them to spit blood, the sound of explosions coming from their bodies. The two of them did not care, dragging him along as they fought outside. On the other side, Fang Ping had already charged out, sweeping the rest with his saber. A long spear appeared in Yao Chengjuan's hand out of thin air, attacking instantly. On the long spear, an earth-shattering, murderous aura erupted. The spear pierced through the void, freezing one of them in place. The long spear pierced through the other party's skull in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping was a little surprised. Yao Chengjun was a little strange too. This spear seemed to have become more powerful. He did not plan to kill this person just now. His mentality was not at its peak. If he unleashed his full power, he would at most be comparable to a peak rank 6 or even worse. He was different from Wang Jinyang and Wang Jinyang. The two of them were strong in their bodies and vitality. His strength did not lie in this area. Ironhead's defense was the strongest, Old Wang's physical attack was strong, and Yao Qingjuan's was a magician. However, who would have thought that this spear attack would actually kill a mentality-vitality-unity powerhouse? They did not have time to think. The strongest Feng, Miesheng, was being held back, but the other party was really strong. Ironhead's golden glow was extinguished, and it looked like he could not hold on any longer. Seeing this, Fang Ping let out a low roar again. At the same time, Yao Qingjuan's face instantly turned pale. He let out a furious roar, the energy in the void exploding violently. Boom! Below them, the ground began to collapse directly. As for Yao Chengjuan's spear attack, before it even got close, many powerhouses turned pale, bleeding from their orifices, their mentality shaken. At the same time, Fang Ping's slightly illusory small city appeared again, enveloping everyone within. Goodbye, trash! Fang Ping was also bleeding from his orifices, but he was smiling coldly. Rumble! An explosion sounded again. Some powerhouses roared in anger, their bodies erupting with brilliant light, forcibly escaping the small city. It was not just one person. 5 or 6 powerhouses also erupted with light, disappearing from the small city. Although it was rare to see accessories that could block mentality, there were many of them in the catacombs. These mentality-vitality-unity powerhouses were almost all the disciples of the catacombs. Some of them were only related to the catacombs by blood for 4 or 5 generations. These people escaped, but there were still some who could not escape. Seeing Fang Ping brandishing his saber, someone wailed in despair, then self-destructed. Rumble! The small city was destroyed. Fang Ping was dizzy, his face covered with golden blood, like a devil being reborn. Mother f***, I'm going to kill you all. Prince Feng! Someone roared. Not far away, Feng Miesheng had also gone berserk. His long halberd was as fast as lightning, hitting Li Hansong's skull until it made a cracking sound. At this time, Ironhead's face was already smashed into pieces, but he was still roaring furiously, using his golden skull to block again and again. Beside him, Wang Jinyang's Sanjiao gate appeared, his vitality gate half open. His body was wrapped in a blood cocoon, like an illusion surrounding Feng Miesheng and attacking everywhere. Seeing this, Fong Ping roared again, the small city appearing again. This time, even Feng Miesheng was cursing loudly. Damn it, damn it! Why? The immortal god had exploded again and again. Why would it recover again and again? Why? Were all martial artists who resurrected like this? No. If that was the case, the royal court would have been defeated long ago. Why would they still be suppressing the other party? I'll definitely kill you, Feng Miesheng roared. His halberd pierced through Li Hansong's shoulder blade, sending Li Hansong flying. The next moment, without looking back, he swept his halberd toward the sky. Rumble! A loud explosion was heard. Old Wang was sent flying, spitting blood. As for Fong Ping, he self-destructed the small city again. With a slash, he killed 2 mentality-vitality-unity powerhouses. In a short period of time, he and Yao Chengjun had killed 4 people and self-destructed 2 more. 6 powerhouses who were also prodigies in the restricted area died in the blink of an eye. As for the remaining mentality-vitality-unity powerhouses, some of them retreated from the battlefield, but they did not run away. Instead, they shouted angrily, "Hold them back!" As soon as he said that, the remaining people fought Fong Ping and Feng Miesheng with all their might. As for the person who escaped to the periphery, all his flesh and blood seemed to be sucked dry in an instant. In the blink of an eye, a golden flying dagger condensed in front of him. Fong Ping's expression changed drastically. With a slash, he forced one person back. He was just about to dodge. Boom! The golden flying dagger hit his chest. Fong Ping spat out a large amount of half-energy converted internal organ fragments. His coat was torn, and a crack appeared on the rank, 9 inner armor inside. Fong Ping's expression was ghastly. As expected, many people had killer weapons. The flying dagger just now almost pierced through the rank, 9 inner armor. Although it did not pierce through completely, it had shattered his internal organs. Right now, Fong Ping's injuries were extremely serious. If it were anyone else, they would probably be dead now. Even if it was Li Hansong, if he was hit, his skull might be shattered. As for Fong Ping, the moment he was hit, a bottle appeared in his hand. The next moment, Fong Ping swallowed a large amount of life essence. The injuries of his shattered internal organs were also recovering rapidly. More? Come again. Fong Ping grinned hideously. The small city appeared again, exploding with a rumble. At this moment, Yao Chengjun brandished his long spear and killed another person. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had his eyes on the martial artist who was only skin and bones. Seeing that he seemed to have no more strength to move, the divine weapon pierced through the air and beheaded the other party in one strike. The divine weapon Changdao flew back quickly. Fong Ping did not even bother to pick up the divine weapon. His figure moved, grabbing Li Hansong, whose skull was shattered, and he fled without looking back. Old Wang and Yao Chengjun were also extremely fast. The moment Fong Ping made his move, they escaped together. Be *starred. I will not rest until you die. Behind him, the maple extinguisher's life, halberd pierced through the air, stabbing toward Fong Ping. As for Fong Ping, he grabbed the halberd. The bones and flesh of his hand cracked, but he would not let go no matter what. Li Hansong, whose injuries were extremely serious, wanted to cry but had no tears. He said intermittently, Don't snatch, or else I won't be able to escape." The halberd was struggling violently. If this dragged on, Maple Extinguisher would catch up. Fong Ping gritted his teeth. "Rank, a motherf asterisk cur. Forget it. There's still a chance." Having said that, Fong Ping threw the halberd with force. The next moment, Fong Ping's speed was extremely fast. He took the opportunity to grab Old Wang and Yao Chengjun, dragging the three of them as he fled rapidly. The divine weapon combat boots, on his feet emitted an extremely dazzling light. Damn it, damn it! Maple Extinguisher chased after them for a while, cursing and swearing. He was about to go crazy. The two weaklings had held him back for a long time. He could not kill them, no matter how hard he hit them. They were only rank 6, but the two of them had physiques that far exceeded rank 6. Especially the guy with the golden head, who used his head to bump him every time. While he was holding him back for a moment, the other two had actually killed 8 powerhouses in the blink of an eye out of the 16 people who were originally chasing after them. Only half were left now. Other than him, everyone else was injured. Maple Extinguisher chased after them for a while and retreated, his expression dark. Not long after, Prince Huai rushed over with his men. When he saw the scene of the defeated army, Prince Huai's expression was also extremely gloomy. Another 8 had died. Before the people from the Monster Life King Court could enter, they had lost 16 quasi-commander powerhouses. At this moment, on the Monster Plant's King Court's side, 42 people had died. Among them, 16 were at Mentality-Vitality Fusion. Among the remaining people, including the 2 princes, there were a total of 14 Mentality-Vitality Fusion powerhouses. Trash, a bunch of trash. Maple Prince was furious. His cold gaze swept over the people who had held Fong Ping back. Out of the 15 quasi-commanders, more than half had been killed by 2 people. Everyone was silent. Maple Prince was the grandson of a true king powerhouse. His status was even more distinguished than Prince Huai, because Prince Huai's bloodline had already surpassed 3 generations. However, everyone felt aggrieved. Maple Prince was known as an invincible general who had swept the 4 king courts. In the end, 2 middle-stage general martial artists had actually held him back. The 2 people they had faced were both freaks. The leader had self-destructed his immortal god time and time again. Was he still human? It was understandable that they had suffered heavy casualties. However, Maple Prince, an invincible general, had been held back by 2 martial artists who were far inferior to him. It was clear who was trash. Maple Prince cursed for a while. Very quickly, his gaze turned cold and fierce. Continue to hunt them down. This time, we will move together. Huai Muqing, and I will hold them back. All of you, use all your trump cards. Don't hold back, unless you want to die. Most of the people present had a backup plan. However, backup plans needed time to prepare. They had been killed so suddenly that they had no time to use them. More than half of those who had died had a trump card to save their lives. However, external objects were external objects after all. Without time or reaction, they were gone once they died. At this moment, there were still 86 people left in the Monster Plant's King Court. Among them, more than 10 were seriously injured and dispirited. In less than half an hour, the losses had already reached 1/3, and their opponents were only 4 people. They were not the descendants of the Netherworld King that they had imagined. They were also not the quasi-commander powerhouses who looked very powerful. Instead, they were the few middle-stage generals that they had ignored earlier. Some people even remembered that before they entered, the leading martial artist was still trembling. Damn liar! Someone cursed. That liar had lied to all of them. He had pretended to be afraid, so that everyone would ignore him. The 2 princes ignored them. Their gazes were cold and fierce as they continued to lead the others in the chase. They had suffered heavy losses, but the other party was also seriously injured. Maple Miasheng did not believe that the fellow could really regenerate his immortal god indefinitely. If he was held back for even a moment, even if he could recover, he could use the killer move that his grandfather had left for him to kill him. It was a pity that he had not had the chance to use it before. Regret aside, Maple Miesheng continued to chase while saying coldly, "Leave a few more people behind and quickly break through to rank 7. We'll leave marks along the way. Catch up after you've broken through." Many of the mentality, vitality, unity powerhouses could have broken through already. However, they chose not to break through because they wanted to be safer. Or rather, they wanted to obtain more things and protect some people. If they broke through, they would have to enter the rank 7 area. They had initially planned to break through after entering. Unexpectedly, so many of them were killed in an instant. Before this, 5 or 6 of them were close to breaking through. At this moment, Maple Miesheng's expression was even worse. Currently, there were only 3 quasi-commanders left who were close to breaking through. After all, they had just entered. The other parties had not even entered yet. Next, if they encountered these forces, they would be in big trouble. At the same time, Fang Ping sprinted tens of li. Then, he found a small mountain forest and landed. He quickly dug a hole and let a few people into it. After setting up layers of mentality barriers, Fang Ping's face was as white as a sheet. Beside him, Yao Qingjun was even worse off. His gaze was a little dull. Li Hansong was the worst off. His head had really turned into a skeleton. His imperishable substance appeared, but it was difficult for him to recover immediately. Ironhead, Li Hansong did not make a sound. Fang Ping gritted his teeth. He took out some life essence and poured it on his head. With that, his recovery speed was much faster. After a while, Li Hansong's flesh had recovered slightly. He said weakly, "That fellow is very strong. Fang Ping, be careful." Fang Ping's expression was gloomy. "I know. Besides, many of these fellows have big killer moves. The one who suddenly condensed a golden flying dagger, just now. Although it did not involve a mentality attack, its destructive power was extremely strong. Other than me, all of you might have been killed in one move." After saying that, Fang Ping glanced at the silent old Wang, then at his pierced chest. He felt a little helpless. He thought that the few of them were invincible among rank 6, who knew that they would be beaten up so badly the first time. "It's okay. Let's recuperate first. After we're healed, we'll torture them to death." Wang Jinyong said weakly, "This time, I'm afraid someone is going to break through to rank 7. Fang Ping nodded. Then he said, "It's okay. There are only a few of them. Many of those who achieved mentality-vitality fusion were killed. At most, 2 or 3 of them can break through to rank 7. They'll be the weakest rank, 7 too. As long as the opportunity is right, I'll act as an assassin. Sooner or later, I'll kill them one by one." After saying that, Fang Ping suddenly broke into a smile. Although the loss was not small, the gain was also huge. His internal organs were ruptured earlier. He had no choice but to consume life essence. Including the one he gave to Ironhead, he had consumed about 1 caddy. It was worth a lot. However, the gain from the divine weapons was also huge. Not only the divine weapons, Fang Ping also touched a necklace. It was probably an accessory that could block out mentality. Guess, how many divine weapons are there? As soon as he said that, even Li Hansong, who was on the verge of death just now, perked up instantly. He asked hurriedly, "How many? 22? Fang Ping looked ecstatic. He grinned and said, "Mother asterisk cur, I didn't touch a few. It's too late. But this battle, it's not a loss. It's a profit. We've made a huge profit." Li Hansong was no longer dispirited. He was full of energy. He grinned widely with his bloody mouth that had yet to heal. He laughed foolishly. 22 divine weapons. 22. I can get 3. 3, is that right? He fought and did not die. He got 3 divine weapons. It was a huge profit. He should fight a few more times like this. Fong Ping and the others glanced at him. Ironhead was good at accounting. He was not a fool when he should be. He could even remember the digits after the decimal point. They could not be bothered with him. No matter how many divine weapons there were, they had to wait until they got out alive. It's a pity, Fong Ping said with some regret. That halberd is at least rank 8. It's a fine one among the rank 8 ones. It's a pity we didn't get it. As he said that, Fong Ping said, I'll get 11. Aha! Everyone nodded. Fong Ping looked at his wealth points and frowned slightly. Be careful. We're not out of danger yet. We're at our weakest now. Everyone, heal your wounds as soon as possible. All right. At this moment, Yao Qingjuan's gaze was no longer unfocused. He said in a low voice, Fong Ping, my spear's power has increased here. I can't see anything in the ruins, but this place might very well be a ruin. Fong Ping frowned. Was this really the place where old Yao and the others fought their last battle? It could not be that incredible, right? The place where the kings fought did not seem as mysterious and powerful as he had imagined. Could it be that old Yao and the others had fought their way to a place like this in their past lives? Of course, it might not be here, but I feel... Yao Qingjun pondered for a moment. I feel that this place has something to do with us, more or less. Li Hansong grinned, with his bloody mouth again. Do you guys think that there might be remains of our past lives? Then, if we find the corpses and combine them into one, our strength will skyrocket and restore the combat strength of our past lives. Fong Ping was speechless. Wang Jinyang said weakly, Dead is dead. Li Hansong, don't always immerse yourself in the unknown past. He was also at his wit's end because of Ironhead. This fellow was very arrogant now. He thought he was at the top, but in reality, did he not see that both of them were almost defeated by a rank 6 even when they joined forces? Li Hansong heard that and shrugged. He did not say anything else and began to heal his wounds. As for a certain fatty who was still waiting for them, who cared if he lived or died? He had to take care of himself first. As for Fong Ping, he was healing his wounds while calculating things. He had taken a look at the Monster Plants Dynasty's side earlier. There were at least 70 divine weapons. The Monster Plants and Monster Life Dynasty had the most divine weapons. Counting like this, there were still close to 50 divine weapons left. Disregarding the Monster Life Dynasty's side, he was definitely going to get his hands on the Monster Plants Dynasty's side. If I get all 70 divine weapons, I can get more than 35. If I get more, I might even get 40. That Fong Extinguisher's divine weapon is even a rank 8. If I really get all of them, maybe I can break through 1 trillion wealth. Fong Ping licked his lips. He healed his wounds as soon as possible. Once his injuries were healed, he would immediately conceal his aura and kill them. This time, he was definitely going to grind these people down. As for the secret of the place where the kings fought, after killing all these guys, he had all the time to explore it. There was no hurry now. Chapter 571. La 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 la. I'm so excited that I'm flying off. November, first place in the monthly votes. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your hard work, your support, and your awesome support. Thank you, Big Shots, for your subscriptions and gifts, and for your monthly votes. Thank you to Eagle Sauce's extremely awesome charisma. She should be, we won and took the glory of first place in the monthly votes. This is so cool. I wonder if there are any brothers who remember the previous standalone chapter. On September 27th, Old Eagle posted a standalone chapter, joking that with an average subscription of 30,000, we could take first place in the monthly votes. It really was a joke at that time. With an average subscription of 30,000, we could take first place in the monthly votes. of the big shots who took first place in the monthly votes, who wasn't a god, who wasn't platinum, cough cough. Now there's me, awesome. With an average subscription of 24,000, we took first place. November was a month that surprised, delighted, and dumbfounded Old Eagle. He had too many achievements. First place in the monthly votes, a Gold Alliance Master from Huaxue Jian, Silver Alliance Masters from Legend, Baked Bun, and Lonely as You, a new Alliance Master almost every day. He really couldn't describe the feeling. There were too many emotions, too many things that he wanted to say. Forget it. Let's not talk about it. Of course, Eagle, I'm also very awesome. Don't stop me. I have to show off. This month, I've updated more than 600,000 words. Perhaps there aren't many chapters, but to update more than 600,000 words in a month, I think it's still very awesome. Everyone, give Old Eagle a round of applause. He was so excited that his speech was somewhat incoherent. But this time, everyone had really worked hard. The managers were on 24-hour shifts, keeping an eye on the monthly votes. The big shots contributed money and effort, and the big shots who secretly sponsored the monthly votes and red packets, but none of them told me, but no matter how awesome I am, can you hide it from my discerning eyes? In short, I'll keep the gratitude in my heart. I won't say any more pretentious words. I'll continue working hard, continue fighting. I'm an author, and the most important thing is for my books to be recognized by everyone. With everyone's support, Old Eagle will definitely continue to write good books. This is my job and the foundation of my brothers and sisters' support. In the end, I once again sincerely thank everyone for their support and thank the hundreds of thousands of brothers and sisters for their tolerance and love. Okay, the good news ends here. I also ask for a guaranteed monthly vote for 12 months. Thank you. December 1st, 2018. Chapter 572. Underground. Fong Ping and the others were still recuperating. Just as the others were closing their eyes to heal, Fong Ping's expression suddenly changed. After a while, Fong Ping coughed softly and said, "Everyone, open your eyes and look." Everyone opened their eyes one after another. The next moment, everyone's expression changed. Previously, they landed in a forest. Fong Ping dug a hole, and everyone hid underground. But now they were actually on top of a small hill. Li Hansong's expression was blank. He did not notice anything strange. Just like that, without a sound, their surrounding environment changed completely. It was no longer the same as before. After the shock, Li Hansong said hurriedly, F***CK. Isn't this going to expose our whereabouts? They were actually on top of a small hill. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. This place is really strange. Earlier, Instructor Zhang said that the terrain here changes at any time. I thought it was just a rough change. I didn't expect it to change like this. They were clearly in the forest, underground. In the blink of an eye, they appeared on top of a small hill. This was too strange. Wang Jinyang looked around. After a while, he said, "We didn't notice anything. There are two possibilities. First, our own position has changed. We were moved to another place without a sound. Second, the environment has really changed." Fong Ping thought for a while. He took out the mother-child sensor and turned it on to take a look. He saw a red dot outside of them and shook his head. It shouldn't be that people have changed. Jiang Chao, who was dozens of li away, was not moved along with us. So, the environment has indeed changed. It was done without a sound. What a scary place. Li Hansong sighed. Yao Qingjun, on the other hand, said attentively, "It's really scary to be able to make us feel nothing." As he said that, Yao Qingjun said in a low voice, "Say, do you think this is a manifestation of a top-notch powerhouse like Fong Ping before, changing the environment? If it's really a manifestation, we might not be able to sense it. Even if the paragon can't enter, he should be able to sense it. Moreover, the king's battleground is like an upside-down bowl. It's covered by the boundary wall. It covers a huge area, more than 5 million square kilometers. It's comparable to half the size of Sino Nation, a manifestation that really exists. This is not something that the paragon can do. Fang Ping shook his head. Forget about the paragon. Even the legendary two kings might not be able to do it. What about you? Li Hansong suddenly interrupted. As soon as he said that, Fang Ping's expression turned strange. You're asking about the celestial emperor, aren't you? Fang Ping could not be bothered with him. He pondered for a moment and said, I feel that the probability of it materializing is not high. If it's true, then it would be extremely terrifying. It was more likely that the source Tao here was too chaotic and too powerful. The powerful Tao of origin distorted space. The pinnacle had already touched upon space. The existence of a storage ring meant that there was an expert who had touched upon the transformation and slicing of space. So, if I'm not mistaken, it should be the origin Tao that distorted the space here. Everyone nodded slightly. This inference was possible. As Fang Ping said that, he chuckled. Of course, there's another possibility. It's caused by chaotic mentality. The realm wall here was like a huge bowl that had been turned upside down, covering an extremely large area. One could imagine just how many people had died back then. Such a powerful remnant spiritual force is enough to distort our senses. In other words, what we see may not be real. This is similar to a materialized object, but it's not created by a single person. Instead, it's an illusory scene created by the mental distortion of countless dead people. Everyone nodded again. Then Li Hansong said, somewhat uninterestedly, what's the point of analyzing this? Shouldn't we go into hiding? There were countless reasons for the formation of the King battleground. The catacombs were analyzing, humans were also analyzing. In the end, there was no unified understanding. At this point, other than the pinnacle, not many people really cared about how this place was formed. When Zhang Peng taught them, he also said that they did not need to care about these meaningless things. Fang Ping chuckled. Suddenly, he thought of something and said amusedly, it's a good thing there aren't normal monsters here. Otherwise, they'd be cursing every day. It wasn't easy to get a lair, but in the end, when they go out for a trip, their home is gone. Or when they're sleeping well, their home is gone. It'll drive demons crazy. Li Hansong grinned. If there really are normal monsters, then it'll be interesting. Some monsters like to collect treasures. Say, if you open your eyes and suddenly see a rank 9 monsters lair without any monsters in it, won't you go crazy? Everyone burst out laughing. This place was indeed not suitable for normal people to stay in. Not even demons. Every time they could not find their home, it was enough to break them down. The location of humans did not change. That meant that the position of the monsters or the position of living beings should not change. This also meant that if you went out, you could not go back, unless the entire King battleground was turned upside down. Fang Ping did not continue talking about this. He looked around, stood up, and said, this place is a little conspicuous. How's everyone's injury? Almost. No problem. Among the other 3, only Yao Qingjuan's mentality had not completely recovered. However, he was not injured, so there was no need to continue healing. Fang Ping did not have the intention to explore the King battleground. Hearing everyone speak, he smiled and said, then it's time to work. It's morning. Previously, when they entered, it was late at night on the 3rd. Now it was morning. In fact, the King battleground was gray and hazy. There was not much difference between day and night in this place. Of course, if it was daytime, it would be slightly brighter. Fong Ping jumped down from the hilltop, saying as he walked, "It's only midnight. Even if their people break through, it won't be so fast. Strike first and gain the upper hand. Don't give them time and opportunity to break through. Otherwise, if there are more rank 7s, we'll be in trouble. Also, now that the other clans have entered, we have to be more careful. However, there are also advantages to having more people. It's more chaotic. In this mess, we have fewer people. It's more convenient to move in small groups. Brothers, this time we'll play the role of assassins. No, hunters. Those fellows are our prey. Whether we can go out and have a good life depends on this. As for breaking through to rank 7, it's nothing to us. Even if we miss some opportunities in the King Battleground, it doesn't matter. At most, we'll explore the next time. After we get the quota, we can always enter. What do you guys think?" Li Hansong chuckled. "I have no objections. At most, we can join forces to seal the door again. It's actually very fast. Rather than blindly trying our luck, it's better to kill those fellows. It's more worthwhile." Fong Ping nodded. Then he tossed a Changdao to Old Wang and said, "You should change your weapon. You're still using A-class alloy. It's outdated." As he said that, he looked at Li Hansong and shook his head. "I don't have boxing gloves. Do you want to use other divine weapons?" "Forget it then. I'll just use my boxing gloves." Li Hansong shook his head. Until now, he had cultivated a pair of iron fists. If he changed his weapon, he would not be able to unleash his strength. Fong Ping did not say anything else. At this moment, he stared at the data on his interface. Safe. At least he was safe now. After everyone's injuries had recovered, the terrain had changed. His wealth suddenly increased. This was also the reason why Fong Ping was not in a hurry to hide. The increase in wealth meant safety and distance from danger. Wealth, 645 billion, conversion, vitality, 9,630 calories, 9,630 calories, mentality, 1,469 hertz, 1,469 hertz, bones honed, 177 bones, 100%, 29 bones, 90% storage space, 100 cubic meters plus, energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute, plus 31,000 wealth/minute, aura simulation, 100,000 wealth/minute, plus 30,000. It's increased by about 130 billion. Fong Ping was slightly surprised. That much? Logically speaking, he only got 11 divine weapons. The divine weapons he got this time were actually trash. At least that was what Fong Ping thought. Most of them were early stage rank 7. There were only a few middle stage divine weapons. Early stage rank 7 divine weapons would usually increase his wealth by 10 billion. Middle stage ones were about 12 billion. Fong Ping took a look. It seemed like there were only 2 middle stage rank 7 ones. If he got 1, that would be 112 billion. Why was there an extra 18 billion? After thinking about it, Fong Ping suddenly raised his eyebrows. A necklace appeared in his hand out of thin air. The necklace was black and looked a little ugly. Not only was it ugly, but it was probably not polished well enough. Or rather, it was hard to polish. It was made up of a string of stones, very rough. The stones did not have any holes. Instead, they were wrapped by some net-like objects and connected together. Is this it? Fong Ping made a judgment in his heart. This was probably it. This thing was worth a lot of money. Fong Ping did not plan to share this necklace. No one wanted it either. It should be considered his own gain. Before this, Fong Ping had thought that this thing would be very valuable. Now, it was proven that it was indeed expensive. 18 billion. This necklace is about 3 caddies. 6 billion per caddy? Fong Ping shook his head. It was priceless. The official price for a caddy of life essence was only 5 billion. The system's valuation was even lower, only half of it. It was only 5 billion wealth. But this thing was worth 6 billion per caddy, more valuable than life essence. Fong Ping was actually still a little surprised. In his opinion, this thing was indeed very valuable. It was an excellent thing for those below high ranks. It was even better than divine weapons. It could block rank 7 mentality for a moment. Previously, many people from the Monster Plant's royal court had used this to save their lives. However, it was actually more valuable than life essence of the same weight. This had refreshed his understanding. That monument last time, Fong Ping was suddenly looking forward to it. He was really going to dig it up. That monument, was it 10,000 caddies? 10,000 caddies. That was only 5 tons. Did that not mean it was worth 60 trillion? Fong Ping continued to shake his head. That monument was not so valuable, was it? If it was really so valuable, then how rich would the ancient martial artists be? Would they just bury this thing in the ground? After thinking for a while, Fong Ping stopped thinking about this. Mentality and vitality are both growing. This is not bad. Fong Ping also discovered something. Even if he did not cultivate much these 2 days, his mentality and vitality were still growing. Previously, he thought that he had reached his limit. Now, it seemed that was not the case. After looking at the data, Fong Ping looked at Wang Jinyang and Li Hansong. After thinking for a while, he suddenly took off the inner armor on his body and threw it to Li Hansong, saying, "Don't use your head on it anymore. Sooner or later, you'll become a big idiot." Li Hansong caught the inner armor, but immediately handed it back to Fong Ping, saying, "Keep it for yourself. They're all watching you. You're in more danger than me." Wang Jinyang also said in a low voice, "Wear it. If it wasn't for this inner armor earlier, you'd be in danger." The rank 9 monster that MCMEU brought back last time did not just forge a set of rank 9 inner armor. Of course, the parts of the monster shell that could be forged into inner armor were actually limited. A total of 3 sets were forged. Fong Ping took 1 set. The other set was sent to Magic City Catacombs by the people of MCMAU and given to Lu Polu. A rank 7 martial artist's body was not strong enough. Lu Polu had been guarding the Magic City Catacombs all this time, so he was currently in the most danger. As for the last set, it was on Chun Yunshi. When they went to Tian'an Catacombs in April, Fong Ping saw that Chun Yunshi was wearing a rank 7 inner armor. He bragged that he would give her a set of rank 8 inner armor later. In the end, his bragging turned out to be reality. 3 sets of rank 9 inner armors were forged. Since Chun Yunshi had been staying in the catacombs recently, Fong Ping gave her a set of rank 9 inner armor. Seeing that Ironhead did not want it, Fong Ping did not say anything else. He picked up the necklace and looked at Old Wang and Ironhead, saying, "Which one of you is going to wear this?" "Old Yao, and I don't need it. You guys still have to be on guard." If the 2 of them encountered a rank 7, it would be very troublesome. Under the deterrence of a rank 7 martial artist mentality, both of them would also be severely injured. Li Hansong chuckled and said, "Give it to Old Wang. I don't need it. My skull is strong. Actually, it can also defend against mentality. You know that?" Fong Ping nodded. That was true. Mentality deterrence was actually a deterrent to one's consciousness. It had a lot to do with the brain. After tossing the necklace to Old Wang, Wang Jinyang did not say anything. After putting on the necklace, he said, "We can ambush and kill them, but if we're discovered, how are we going to escape? Fong Ping, you're very fast. Why don't you act alone, and the few of us will find a chance to ambush them?" If they're hunting you, the weak ones will definitely fall behind. Fong Ping frowned slightly. The key is that if we're too far apart, I won't be able to help you guys hide your auras. If that's the case, you'll be discovered. It's okay. If their strength doesn't surpass ours, it'll be hard for them to discover our existence. We'll ambush the weak ones. By the time we're discovered, they'll already be fighting. All right, let's do that. I'll mainly ambush their mentality-vitality fusion. The few of you act according to the situation. If there's still a lot of mentality-vitality fusion left, then continue to hide. Oh, right, Old Yao is following you guys. He'll be able to discover the situation. Be careful. Fong Ping also thought that it was better for him to ambush them. The few of them would be more effective in ambushing those upper stage and peak rank 6 martial artists. Having said that, Fong Ping smiled and said, "Let's go. Let's go." Seeing that he was walking forward, behind him, Wang Jinyong could not help but say, "They should be behind us." Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. He looked around and said gloomily, "The terrain has changed. I can't tell the direction at all. Luckily, Jiang Chao gave me a sensor. Otherwise, if we were to split up later, I might not be able to find you guys." Old Wang's sense of direction was not bad. As he led the way, he said, "You don't have to pay special attention to the terrain. Look at the sky. The more chaotic the energy flow, the further it is from the entrance. We escaped all the way here from the entrance. They're behind us, so they should be in the direction where the chaotic energy flow is weaker." Fong Ping looked at the dusky sky and nodded. Now, he finally had a direction to guide them. More than half an hour later, beside a river, Feng Mieshing's expression was livid. He let out a cold humph. The terrain has changed. Some of the remaining traces have disappeared. D*MN. I actually let them escape. The sudden change in the terrain had also caused some of the traces Fong Ping and the rest left behind to disappear. At this moment, it was too difficult to find them. Beside him, Huai Muqing frowned. He looked around for a moment and said, "Now that the people from the other royal courts have also entered, Mieshing, since they have escaped, then we must kill them." Feng Mieshing's expression was ugly. Those fellows had killed so many of their people. He had never suffered such a huge loss in his life. Even when he was facing the prodigies of the other royal courts, he had never been in such a dire situation. Seeing that he was insistent, Huai Muqing did not say anything else. He felt a little helpless. In such a huge place, if the few of them really wanted to hide, unless they were extremely unlucky and ran into them, where else could they find them? At this moment, some of the people who were searching in the periphery returned one after another. Not far away, a powerhouse who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion also rushed over using flight step. Initially, Feng Mieshing did not pay much attention to it. However, he seemed to feel that something was amiss. He turned around and took a look. With one look, Feng Mieshing's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. That B***starred was behind that person. He had actually landed behind a quasi-commander-in-chief in front of everyone. Lu, as soon as Feng Mieshing let out a shrill roar, he saw that annoying, smiling face facing him. It was baring its teeth at him, mocking him wantonly. B***starred. Feng Mieshing was furious. The long halberd in his hand shot out violently, and he broke through the air in an instant. At the same time, Huai Muqing's figure also moved, flying in that direction. The martial artist who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion was actually still a little confused. However, he did not remain confused for long. The moment Feng Mieshing let out a roar, Fong Ping's mentality exploded instantly, causing the other party to feel dizzy. At this moment, Fong Ping's saber swept across. Uffed. His head fell. With a wave of his hand, a long sword appeared in Fong Ping's hand. Just as Feng Miexing and the others broke through the air and arrived, Fong Ping had already completed the assassination in front of everyone's eyes. Greetings to His Royal Highness. Ha ha ha. Fong Ping was extremely arrogant. After killing a fusion of mentality vitality in an instant and provoking him, he broke through the air and fled. Be asterisk starred. Don't even think of escaping. At this moment, Feng Miexing's rage had reached its peak. His speed was also extremely fast. In an instant, he leaped over the corpse of the fusion of mentality vitality and chased after Fong Ping. Behind him, 7 or 8 fusion of mentality vitality powerhouses chased after him one after another. These people soon disappeared before everyone's eyes. In their original spots, a few fusion of mentality vitality martial artists and a large number of upper stage and peak rank 6 martial artists were left behind. Just as these people were feeling slightly frightened, a ruin fell from the sky. In the next second, a few screams were heard. In the crowd, a few fusion of mentality vitality powerhouses were furious. Without thinking, they gathered celestiality and blasted the ruins instantly. Rumble! After a series of explosions, 3 figures fled at high speed. Seeing the 3 of them escaping, some people wanted to chase after them, but someone shouted, "Don't split up." Previously, Fong Ping had lured Feng Miexing and the others away, causing them to be attacked immediately. If these fusion of mentality vitality martial artists left now, the others would be in danger. ***. Someone cursed, but he stopped in his tracks, looking around vigilantly. This trip to the king's battleground this time had made them suffer a lot. In this short period of time, Fong Ping had ambushed and killed 1 person, while Wang Jinyong and the rest had killed 3 people. Although they were not fusion of mentality vitality, everyone here was a genius. There were no weaklings. In Monster Plant's royal court, another 4 people died. At the same time, dozens of li away from the Monster Plant's royal court, a large group of people had gathered. A few powerhouses stood in the air, looking into the distance. After a while, someone said, "Feng Miexing and the rest have split up." At this moment, in the distance, everyone in Monster Plant's royal court was bursting with energy. With so many people, the energy fluctuations were stirred up constantly. Although these rank 6 martial artists could not sense it too clearly, they could still sense that the energy fluctuations were not as strong as expected. This meant that some people did not erupt or were not there. After this person finished speaking, a cold-looking woman next to him, riding a striped tiger, stood in the air and said lightly, "I'm more curious. What kind of enemy did they encounter?" If they did not encounter an opponent, they would not all erupt. The person who spoke earlier stood with his hands behind his back, smiling. Maybe they encountered a commander-level powerhouse. They don't seem to be very lucky. Although the entrance has been taken care of, traces of battle can still be found. They've been in trouble since the beginning. As soon as this was said, the woman riding the tiger suddenly said, "Find a chance to kill Feng Miexing and Huai Muqing. Your Highness, kill them." About King Feng and King Huai, the woman sneered. So what? Would the 2 true monarchs start a true monarch battle over a dead person? Right now, Monster Plant Clan is negotiating peace with the royal court, hoping that the royal court can send troops to besiege the land of rebirth. At this time, they won't dare to start a war. Will that affect the cooperation between the royal court and Monster Plant Clan? That has nothing to do with us. The woman looked disapproving. Then she said lightly, "Besides, they're the ones begging us, not the other way around. Before King Feng became a king, he killed my granduncle. Then I'll use Feng Mieshing's life to pay for it. As they were talking, the woman suddenly looked straight ahead. In the distance, several celestiality erupted, the light pillars spreading far and wide. Seeing this, the woman frowned slightly. Did they really encounter a monster commander? Feng Mieshing and the others did not care about the damage to their undying god, all of them unleashing their divine powers. They would only do this if they encountered an extremely powerful enemy. However, she did not seem to sense any other auras. If a rank 7 powerhouse really attacked, there would more or less be some traces. At this moment, the feeling that Feng Mieshing and the others gave her was more like internal strife. Yes, they were fighting among themselves. How was that possible? For a moment, the woman was puzzled and wary. Could those fellows have deliberately set up a trap to lure them in? Naturally, Feng Mieshing did not know what the Monster Life Royal Court people were thinking. If he knew, he would probably vomit blood in anger. Lure your grandpa. Who was luring you? Setting up a trap. Right now, he was so angry that he was about to lose his mind. How would he have the time to plot against others? Just as they lost track of Fang Ping and returned to their original spot, they also saw the few dead people. In the end, before they could even get angry, Fang Ping, who had just run away, came back again. This time, he did not do anything at all. After abandoning a small city, that fellow broke through the air and fled. In the end, the small city exploded, killing a few people in an instant. Feng Mieshing and the others unleashed their celestiality to defend against the self-detonation of mentality. They had no time to care about outsiders. At this moment, it was not them who did not want to let Fang Ping go. Instead, it was Fang Ping who was entangled with them. Chasing after that fellow, they were not as fast as him and could not run as fast as him. Not only could they not catch up to him, but among them only he and Huai Muqing could entangle the opponent. If the others chased after him alone, they would die. It was not that none of these people were martial artists who were fast. However, the fast ones might not necessarily have strong combat strength. As long as they left the main force, that fellow would immediately counterattack. At this moment, Feng Mieshing and the others did not dare to split up anymore. They also did not dare to go after him alone, or else someone would die. Wait. In the end, after calculating their losses, Feng Mieshing said these words. Wait for those few quasi-commanders to break through. Feng Mieshing calmed down. If this went on, they might be dragged down by one person. However, as long as those few broke through, the other party's speed and self-detonation of the undying god would no longer be a fatal threat. Chapter 573. Inside a small valley, Fang Ping's face was pale, but his eyes were bright. At this moment, a hole had appeared in Fang Ping's chest. It was wriggling to repair the injury. Beside him, Li Hansong and the others were also pale. Wang Jinyang looked at the hole in his chest and said with an ugly expression, "Don't go there anymore." The rank 9 inner armor was pierced. This was beyond everyone's expectations. Previously, a flying dagger condensed by a mentality-vitality powerhouse broke a small hole in the rank 9 inner armor, but in reality, it did not penetrate the inner armor. Unexpectedly, just now, when Fang Ping went to do the self-destruct bomb thing again, he was blocked. A few mentality-vitality powerhouses joined forces to unleash a big move, condensing a king's shadow. With one blow, it pierced through Fang Ping's rank 9 inner armor. If not for the inner armor blocking for a moment, he would have exploded directly. Fang Ping swallowed the life essence and laughed. "It's okay, I won't die." Did you guys notice that when they joined forces to unleash this move, their flesh shriveled instantly, and their combat strength disappeared immediately? I think they can't use this kind of trump card infinitely. It's not energy that's being consumed. It's more like bloodline power. I'd like to see how many more times the rest of them can unleash it. Fong Ping, Wang Jinyang said sternly, your inner armor has been pierced. If they do it again, if your skull is smashed, you'll die for sure. I know. I'll try my best to avoid the skull. Fong Ping said, chuckling. Actually, this is a good opportunity. On their side, there are heavy casualties. Many of them are injured. There are only a few mentality vitality left. Although his inner armor was blasted by someone just now, Fong Ping was not someone who would suffer losses. Before he left, he once again self-destructed his mentality. The others could still avoid it and block it. Those fellows who joined forces to unleash the ultimate move almost did not have any ability to block it, exploding instantly. Such a big move, even if the remaining people could use it. Fong Ping felt that they would not dare to use it. What happened before? Those who used their life-saving ultimate moves did not save their lives. Instead, they were killed by Fong Ping. Would the people from the monster plant's royal court dare to exhaust their flesh and continue to unleash? Fong Ping, Li Hansong, and the rest did not know what to say. This fellow was really too awesome. So awesome that he, a rank 6, was wearing a rank 9 inner armor. Logically speaking, it would not be a problem for others to wear it up to rank 8. Fong Ping, on the other hand, had only been a few days, and his inner armor had been pierced. If MCMAU's grandmasters found out about this, they would probably be stunned. In order to save Fong Ping's life, MCMAU tried their best to give Fong Ping all the good stuff, including this inner armor. It was also the best one. Li Changsheng and the others felt that even if Fong Ping encountered a rank 8 martial artist, he might not be able to penetrate the inner armor. But now, not long after Fong Ping put it on, it was pierced by someone. As Fong Ping said that, he rubbed his forehead and said, I've self-destructed too many times. I can't do it a few more times. I need to slow down. Old Yao, have you seen how many of them are left? Yao Qingjuan's face was deathly pale. He had overexerted his mental energy. Upon hearing Fong Ping's question, Yao Qingjun said, it should be 45. Otherwise, it would be 46. There are still 5 at the blood and essence unity realm. More than that, Fong Ping muttered, there should be more. I remember that there are still a few that I haven't seen. They should be hiding and preparing to break through. But if I calculate it, there shouldn't be more than 10 at the blood and essence unity realm. Having said that, Fong Ping chuckled. It hasn't even been a day. Let's waste time and kill them one by one. Rank 7 breakthrough. Even if it's at the boundary, can it be done in less than 2 or 3 days? 2 or 3 days is enough for me to kill these guys. When the time comes, even if a rank 7 comes, it won't be a problem. Wang Jinyang reminded that Feng Miesheng and the other guy are very strong. They haven't used any ultimate moves yet. Fong Ping, don't be careless. Fong Ping nodded. Then his eyebrows twitched. He said, let's go. Look for Fatty. Look for him? Yes, that guy has a killer weapon on him. Last time, he said that he would have no problem handing over a few blood and essence unity to him. Now, there aren't many left. Old Yao, you guys are in charge of getting rid of the others. Let Fatty get rid of those blood and essence unity. I'll fight Feng Miesheng and that Prince Locust. We'll get our revenge overnight. These guys actually dared to hunt me down. I took some divine weapons. They should be thanking me for not killing them. Everyone did not care about Fong Ping's overbearing and shameless words. The monster plant's royal court and them were mortal enemies. It was only right for them to be overbearing to their enemies. More than half an hour later, in a tree hole, Jiang Chao's expression changed. When he heard familiar voices coming from outside the tree hole, Only then did he poke his head out carefully. He breathed a sigh of relief. "You're all fine. It's good that you're all fine." As Jiang Chao said that, he glanced at the few of them. Seeing that they seemed to be in a bad state, he could not help but ask, "Are you injured? But it's good that you're not dead. No one's hunting you down now, right?" Fang Ping did not speak. He looked left and right before smiling. "Fatty, you've been hiding here for the whole day?" This guy did not seem to have moved much. Jiang Chao grinned. "There are monsters nearby. It's one of their lair. I used the feces of peerless monsters to scare them away. Then I snuck over. Then I removed the scent and left a little bit. These monsters came back, but they didn't dare to come here. It's very safe here." Needless to say, this fatty had a way to protect himself. The periphery was full of monsters. If he hid here, most people would not be able to rush in. Even if they knew that there were people hiding here, they would still have to think of a way to kill those crazy monsters on the periphery. These crazy monsters even dared to attack rank 9. However, the peerless aura still scared them away. But to other people, it was not so easy. When Fang Ping heard his explanation, he could not help but laugh. "You're quite capable. But when the terrain changed, didn't these monsters leave? They're already used to it. No matter how the terrain changes, they're too lazy to move." Having said that, Jiang Chao asked, "How are you guys? Did you snatch a divine weapon?" "Uh-huh. Amazing." Jiang Chao was sincere in his support. They were amazing. There were so many people, but they could still snatch a divine weapon and retreat in one piece. He had to admit that they were amazing. One. As Jiang Chao said that, he observed for a while. Seeing that Wang Jinyang had changed his saber, he could not help but ask. Fang Ping laughed. "One. Do I need to waste so much time here just for a divine weapon?" As he said that, Fang Ping looked at him and smiled. "You know that I have a storage ring, right?" Jiang Chao's expression changed. He laughed dryly. Don't deny it. Don't think too much about it. The storage ring is a test product of the government. Minister Zhang gave it to me. It's not a secret." Jiang Chao really did not know about this. In reality, not many people knew about it. Zhang Tao had told Li Changxing about this before. But a lie was a lie after all. Fang Ping did not want to make it too public. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he would not reveal it. The government has created a storage ring? Jiang Chao came to his senses at this time and asked hurriedly. Fang Ping nodded. "Yes, but it's not very stable. Mine is also a rare premium product. It's the only stable one." "Then how many divine weapons did you snatch this time?" Fang Ping grinned. "You want to guess?" Seeing Fang Ping's smile and the other's satisfaction, Jiang Chao asked carefully, 5? Hee. Could it be 10? Hee. Fang Ping had just finished mocking him when Li Hansong said scornfully, "Look at how petty you are. 10. We've already snatched 32. There are still many that we haven't had time to pick up." This time, Jiang Chao was really shocked. These guys were not kidding, were they? When I said 10, I was exaggerating. You're telling me that you've snatched more than 30? If the divine weapons were snatched, then what about the people? Before this, Jiang Chao thought that they had escaped after being hunted for a day. Now, it looked like it was not the case. Thinking of this, Jiang Chao asked hurriedly, "What about the people from the Monster Plant's King Court?" "This is why I came to you. We've been hunting them for a day, but they kept using big moves. It's very troublesome. Don't you have a big killer weapon? Use this. This time, we'll destroy them." Destroy. Jiang Chao's mouth opened wide. He asked in a daze, "How many people do they have?" "More than 40. Currently, there are only 5 who have achieved mentality-vitality fusion. I'll go and stall the 2 strongest ones. I'll leave the remaining 3 to you. Fatty, can you handle them? More than 40. Jiang Chao suddenly slapped himself in the face. Mother asterisk cur. You guys must be fooling me. You must be being hunted and have no choice but to use me as a scapegoat. How is that possible? There were dozens of them who had achieved mentality-vitality fusion. Now, you're telling me that there are only 5 left. Moreover, Fang Ping said they were hunting the other party, not being hunted. Jiang Chao was still in shock. Fang Ping frowned slightly. Why? You can't handle 3 of them? Although there were not many people from the Monster Plant's king court, old Yao's mentality had been greatly depleted. Fatty was useless. Fang Ping was fighting 1 against 5, and there were 2 stronger ones. He might not win. He could continue to wear them down, but now the people from the Monster Plant's king court were really on the run. Fang Ping was worried that if this went on, the other party would escape their pursuit. No, Jiang Chao swallowed. That Fang Ping, did you guys really kill more than half of them? Duh. Fang Ping said unhappily, are you doubting me? Fatty, do you think the divine weapons I snatched were for nothing? As soon as he finished speaking, a large number of divine weapons appeared around Fang Ping. Seeing these divine weapons piled up densely together, Jiang Chao fainted. He believed it too. How many people did they have to kill to snatch so many divine weapons? Killing God. For people, chasing after the people from the Monster Plant's king court. Now, they were simply going to destroy them. These fellows were the living definition of bandits, killing people and seizing their treasures. This was vividly reflected by these fellows. Jiang Chao took a deep breath and said immediately, 3 of them have achieved mentality-vitality fusion. Unless they are together, I have no way of killing them together. Can you guys bring them together? Of course, it's not just mentality-vitality fusion. It doesn't matter if there are more of them, but they can't be more than 10 meters apart. If they're separated, I can only kill one of them. Fang Ping asked, earlier, someone used a king's shadow to pierce through my chest. Even my rank, 9 inner armor, was broken. Is this an ultimate move? Hearing that, Jiang Chao said immediately, no, this is a move left behind by a rank 9 powerhouse. That shadow is just a remnant of the rank 9 powerhouse's Tao of origin. If I'm not mistaken, it will dissipate not long after it appeared. At most, it can only attack once, right? Fang Ping looked at him for a while again. This fatty was quite knowledgeable. He nodded and said, aha, what about you? Me? Jiang Chao smiled smugly. I'm different from them. Actually, ultimate powerhouses won't give people a life-saving move so easily. They're mainly worried about the leakage of origin. But then again, there might be people in the Monster Plant's king court who have ultimate life-saving moves too. You better be careful. However, as long as you're not in a life-threatening situation, you can't use it under normal circumstances. What do you mean? Jiang Chao said immediately, ultimate life-saving moves are usually passive. In other words, if you don't kill them, they won't be triggered. It's the same for me. So, if I really want to use it, I'll have to hurt myself. I'll have to kill myself. I'm guessing that Feng Mieshing is probably the only one who has it. You better not kill him. If you kill him, once the counterattack is triggered, even a rank 7 might be killed. Jiang Chao continued, but if it really comes to that, the few of you cough. If there's someone who doesn't want to live, you can exhaust his plaything first. You can exchange your life for his. Then you can kill him. Fang Ping shot him a look. Jiang Chao's expression stiffened. He laughed dryly. I can't. I'm not his match. Fang Ping sneered. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your brain. If it really comes to a point where we can kill him, there are many ways. Why do we have to do it ourselves? We can just throw him into a monster nest. No matter how many moves we have, they'll be exhausted. Forget it. I'm too lazy to talk to you about this. Since you're fine with it, then we'll create an opportunity for you. You kill those 3 mentality-vitality fusion. I'll protect your life after this. Jiang Chao said softly, You really want to go? Fong Ping, you guys have already snatched so many divine weapons. Why don't you forget it? Fong Ping stared at him. After a while, he said, So, you're not willing? Forget it then. Let's go. No, that's not what I mean. Jiang Chao hurriedly said, a little distressed, I'm worried that we've killed too many of them here. If one of them runs away and escapes and tells the powerhouses guarding outside, then we'll be in trouble. As soon as he said that, Fong Ping frowned slightly. This was really hard to say. Absolute Peak doesn't care? Of course, Jiang Chao said helplessly. But we'll be killed the moment we get out. Even if Absolute Peak kills them, we'll still be dead, right? That makes sense. Fong Ping nodded. Very quickly, he said, but at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. If it really doesn't work, when it's time to go out, I'll go out first. The other party might want to kill us all in one go. When that time comes, if they don't kill me, I'll go to Mount Royal Sea to ask for reinforcements. Beside him, Wang Jinyang said slowly, It's better if I go out first. If someone really goes out to spread the news, you'll definitely be on their kill list. I won't attract too much attention. We'll see. It's still early. Fong Ping laughed. Who knows, if we kill all these guys, no one will go out to spread the news. Seeing Fong Ping's determination, Jiang Chao could only say, All right then, but after I unleash my power, I won't be able to retaliate. You guys must protect me no matter what. Otherwise, I'll be finished. Definitely. Fong Ping agreed readily. He laughed. Let's go and kill them. These guys were laughing so savagely just now. I've been wanting to kill them for a long time. After we kill them all, we'll bring you to fish for other good stuff. At this moment, they were still at the outermost area of the battlefield. There were very few places with real treasures here. The deeper they went, the more there would be. Fong Ping and the others did not have the mood to look for more in the outermost area. They did not say anything else. They smeared some Absolute Peak's feces on their bodies, scaring off the monsters. Then they chased after Feng Mieshing and the others. In the wilderness, inside a dilapidated building that only had some foundations left, Feng Mieshing did not say a word. There was fatigue in his eyes. His anger, fury, and murderous intent from before had dissipated quite a bit. That lunatic had been chasing after them for a whole day. On this day, that fellow had self-destructed the immortal god more than 10 times. Feng Mieshing was really tired. He was also really helpless. How could this happen? Every time, that fellow would leave behind a small city materialized and self-destruct. Then he would escape quickly. A few people were killed in one explosion. Until now, even if the others were not dead, many of their mentality had been shattered. Holding a small, luxurious wine pot in his hand, Feng Mieshing took a sip. His slightly tired aura dissipated. He looked around vigilantly. He also used his mentality to probe the ground. Feng Mieshing only heaved a sigh of relief when he confirmed that there were no more movements. A few times earlier, that fellow had been hiding under the ground in the direction they were heading, then suddenly unleashed his power. He had killed them all by surprise. After a few times, Feng Mieshing's experience increased by leaps and bounds. He could not wait to dig 3 feet into the ground before moving. After confirming that the fellow was not chasing after them, Feng Mieshing said in a gloomy tone That fellow must die. If someone like him doesn't die, he will be a great threat to the majestic court. Huai Muqing nodded solemnly and said with a grave expression, "He's only at the warlord level. Once he breaks through to the commander level and can still do this, he will indeed be a great threat to us. But now we can't kill him. He has escaped our pursuit time and time again. His injuries have healed in an instant because he has the spring of life with him. The immortal god also recovers extremely quickly. Unless we kill him in one blow, there's nothing we can do about him." Feng Miesheng glanced at him and said after a while, "Lord Huai Muqing didn't leave anything for you." Huai Muqing's expression changed. Feng Miesheng said in a low voice, "Huai Muqing, there's no need to hide anything from us at this point. That fellow will come again. If we don't kill him, we'll all die sooner or later. Only by killing him will we have a chance to leave this place alive." When Huai Muqing did not speak, Feng Miesheng said, "I have to maintain some deterrence. Otherwise, that which won't let us go. I'm the one she wants to kill, not you. As long as I'm alive, she won't dare to do anything to you. Moreover, Bai Qing and the others will break through very soon. As long as we meet up with them, I'll get someone to protect you even if you don't have any life-saving treasures." When Huai Muqing still did not speak, Feng Miesheng said with an unfriendly expression, "Otherwise, if this drags on, Bai Qing and the others won't be able to break through and meet up with us. We'll all be killed by him. Huai Muqing, if I die, even if you leave this place alive, Lord Huai Muqing will not protect you." Huai Muqing's eyes flashed with anger when he heard this. He sighed and said, "All right, I'll attack him if he shows up again. But if I can't kill him, I don't believe that he won't die." Feng Miesheng gritted his teeth. He had come with great ambitions and had wanted to go all out this time. This time, more than 100 people from the majestic court had come. He had subdued some of them, and he was prepared to use this opportunity to subdue the others. More than 100 commander-level powerhouses were considered a considerable force, even in the restricted area. Moreover, these people all had powerful backgrounds. If he could subdue them, he would truly have the capital to compete for the position of the majestic court lord. Many of the people who had led teams into the majestic court battlefield in the previous few batches had now become candidates for the position of majestic court lord. As long as they could reach the divine general level soon, they would be qualified to become the majestic court lord. Even if the position of majestic court lord was governed by the true king hall, it was still nothing. The true kings of the true king hall usually did not care too much about other people's business. The majestic court lord was the pinnacle for them. If he did not become a true king, the mountains and rivers that spanned hundreds of millions of miles would be under his control. Everyone below the true king level would be under his command. Moreover, once he became the majestic court lord, he could take the most common path in the restricted area. He might even be able to quickly enter the true king realm. The current majestic court lord source had been destroyed by the Netherworld king many years ago, so he would not be able to live for long. Unfortunately, his wishful thinking was only wishful thinking. This time, he had defeated a few others and obtained the position of commander-in-chief. However, who would have known that as soon as he entered, Feng Miesheng would encounter the biggest setback in his life? So many people had died. Forget about the heir to the throne. The true kings of the true king hall would probably want to skin him alive. He did not know if the royal ancestor would be furious this time. If the royal ancestor did not protect him, he would really be in trouble. Glancing at Huai Muqing from the corner of his eye, Feng Miesheng let out a cold humph in his heart. This fellow probably had some ulterior motives when he entered this time. However, at this point, any ulterior motives were useless. If this went on, even if the two of them did not die, Everyone else would die. If that happened, both of them would not be able to explain themselves. Huai Muqing did not speak anymore, sinking into silence. He was also thinking about a very important question, just as Feng Miesheng and the others were thinking about life. Outside the wilderness, Fang Ping glanced at the dilapidated building from afar, rubbing his chin. There were people living here in the past. Jiang Chao nodded. There were buildings and catacombs, humans living here. I asked my grandfather before. He said that in the inner area there are palace-like buildings. This might be where the second king's royal court was. My grandfather said that he had been to the inner area before. Zhang Peng didn't tell us because we wouldn't go. Actually, there are many good things in the inner area. In the rank 9 area, there are even complete palace-like buildings. If you're lucky, it's even possible to pick up a paragon's corpse. Of course, it's very dangerous. If a paragon is dead, after a long time, their Tao of origin will become one with the Tao of origin here. If a corpse comes back to life, you'll be finished. Of course, a paragon's corpse is very rare. I heard my grandfather say that a paragon's corpse rushed out of the palace. That time, almost all the rank 9 martial artists in the rank 9 area were slaughtered. Only a few survived. After that, some people speculated that the complete palace might be the second king's resting place. As for the paragon who came back to life, he might be the second king's guardian. A corpse can still come back to life after death. Then how do we know that the other party is dead? Of course we know. He's definitely dead because if he's alive, he'll be impacted by the chaos Tao of origin. Besides, the other party doesn't look like he's conscious. He probably only retained his physical strength. Otherwise, under the envelopment of mentality, no one can survive. How can anyone come out? Having said that, Jiang Chao continued, actually, someone in Star Town has experienced this before. It happened not many years ago, maybe 80 or 90 years ago. Back then, a group of people died in Star Town. Otherwise, there would be more rank 9s in Star Town now. All these years, many people in Star Town have died here too. Back then, someone made it back alive. He's the Jiang family's current family head. Now, he's also a strong rank 9. He said this himself. It can't be fake. Fang Ping nodded slightly, smiling. Don't tell me the catacombs' second king is really sleeping here? That I don't know. Having said that, Jiang Chao added, oh, right, there are some buildings here that might have been sealed after the human powerhouses died. Only us humans can enter. Encountering a building like this is a great opportunity. The powerhouses who died here were all very strong. Under normal circumstances, even the weakest ones had the strength of a rank 8 golden body. The strong ones might even be at Paragon. Of course, no one has encountered them before. However, even if they encountered a rank 8 golden body, there are still benefits. Weapons, cultivation methods, these are very common. Some people will leave them behind. Even if they don't have these, there will still be some other things left behind. Grandpa said that in the later stages of the Great Battle here, it was probably the aftermath of powerhouses fighting each other that killed the others. Actually, many people did not die from fighting each other. They were hiding from the aftermath. In the end, they still died here. However, during this period of time, most people knew that they were going to die. It's very common for them to leave behind the most precious things in their lives. Fang Ping nodded, smiling. I know this. Isn't the token that Instructor Zhang mentioned found in those places? But previously, I thought that I wouldn't encounter it in the periphery. I didn't expect there to be buildings in the periphery too. Although the buildings in the distance were very dilapidated, this was the first time Fang Ping had seen traces of human survival since he came here. This place might have been complete decades or centuries ago. Later on, someone took away the opportunity and destroyed it. He did not look at it anymore. After all, it had been explored for countless years. It was a fact that there were fewer and fewer good things. After staring at that place for a while, Fong Ping said in a low voice, "These fellows found such an open place. It's not easy to deal with them." The other party was now in the center of the wasteland. It was indeed not easy to get close. Once they were discovered, the other party would be prepared. Then, they would have time to prepare their trump card. Just as Fong Ping was feeling troubled about how to get close, Fong Ping suddenly sighed. Even the heavens want them to die. We can only follow their destiny. Beside him, the others looked dazed too. Fong Ping had just finished lamenting when the environment changed. Fong extermination, and the others who were in the center of the wasteland earlier were now in a forest. Tall trees blocked Fong Ping and the others' vision. However, everyone could still feel the other party's aura. Jiang Chao glanced at Fong Ping. "Mother of Asterisk, your mouth is too sharp, isn't it?" Fong Ping had no time to waste. Here, he had already activated the aura shield. There were 5 people. He had to shield 4 of them. That would consume 100 million wealth points every minute. If he dragged it on for an hour, that would be 6 billion. He could not afford to waste it. Imperial Flight, ambush them! Fong Ping did not waste any time. He quickly led the others into the forest. In the forest, Fong extermination, and the others were also very helpless. They were already preparing to retreat. They could not stay here anymore. That fellow loved ambushing people in this kind of dilapidated place. They had been tricked in this place many times, and many of them had died. In this place, it was easy for Fong Ping to escape. Chapter 574. Just as Fong Ping and the others were about to sneak in and kill the people from the monster plant's royal court. Hundreds of miles away, Du Hong led everyone forward and said with a grave expression, "Where are the people from the monster plant royal court?" Yes, where is he? They had agreed to hunt them down the moment they entered. In the end, after running for an entire day, he did not even see the shadow of a ghost. Su Zissa whispered, "Are they lost?" As soon as he said those words, the crowd fell silent. Stop joking. After all, they were a group of level 6 experts. With so many of them moving, they would inevitably leave some traces. Of course, due to the changes in the terrain, there wouldn't be many traces left behind, and it would be very difficult to find them. However, there were still remnants of his aura. They were different from Fong Ping and the others. Those fellows spent most of their time in a state of sealing off their auras. If the monster plant's royal court really wanted to kill them, logically speaking, it would be normal to encounter some people, let alone all of them. But now that a day had passed, they really didn't even see the shadow of a ghost, except for some demonic beasts. Off to the side, Zhang Nanqi said, "I wonder how Fong Ping and the others are doing. That bastard Jiang Chao is so stupid to insist on following Fong Ping and the others. If he dies here, how will he tell Grandpa Jiang when he gets back?" Speaking of this, Du Hong and the others were also helpless. Those guys, are they still alive? Right when Du Hong was thinking about all of this, the nearby Butoi said, "General Du, since no one from the Demon Plant Royal Court is chasing us, then we have to leave as well." They had been running for a day. The main reason they gathered together before was because they were afraid that they would be killed by the Monster Plant's royal court. Now that the other party didn't chase after them, it was possible that they had given up on killing them. Since that was the case, they would have to find their own opportunities. They could only stay here for a month at most. If they stayed here for too long, it would be easy for problems to arise. Now that they had been delayed for a day, they had to leave. Du Hong nodded and did not say anything else. With so many people gathered together, There was no such thing as a fortuitous encounter, not to mention that they didn't encounter them. Even if they did, it would be easy for the distribution to be uneven. In next to no time, Butoy and the others left. After they left, Su Zissou suddenly said, "Do you guys think it's Fong Ping who's keeping them busy?" Li Yiming was speechless. "Where's your brain? Do you really think that guy is a god? Blind. There were only a few of them. How many people did the other party have? Furthermore, he had entangled the other party. It was hard to say whether those fellows were still alive or dead. I told you not to take risks, but you insisted. I used to think that I was reckless enough, but now I know I am nothing. Those fellows are reckless. Take it easy. It's fine if they die, but if they're not dead, don't provoke them in Stellar Sky City." Savage! The 4 of them dared to block the door and wanted to kill more than 100 experts. If they died, they would be asking for it. But if they didn't die, Li Yiming felt that he should be more careful the next time he met them. It was fine if his ancestors were still alive, but if they were gone one day, he would definitely take revenge on them. Li Yiming used to think that he was a reckless man, but now he didn't think so at all. There were people who were more reckless than him. Su Zissou nodded hurriedly and said, "Maybe they really did hold us back. Grandpa said, Fong Ping, and the others are a little strange. They let me use money to buy my life when I'm in danger. I just didn't expect that they wouldn't be with us as soon as we entered." Everyone was slightly surprised by his words. Su Howren actually said that to his granddaughter, using money to buy one's life. It was not easy for a rank 9 to say that. Beside them, Du Hong suddenly said, "Before we left, Deputy Commander-in-Chief Li met with me. He said that if there were any difficulties during critical moments, we could look for Fong Ping for help." He also said, "What did he say?" Li Yiming asked curiously. Du Hong was a little strange. He said slowly, coaxing him a little, "General Fong, how should I put it? Don't use military orders or laws to talk. When you look for his help, that act more pitiful." Cough, cough, cough. Everyone did not know whether to laugh or cry. Acting pitiful? All right, it might not be unreasonable. That fellow was amenable to coaxing, but not coercion. The harder you were, the harder he was. Acting pitiful might be useful. As Du Hong said that, he shook his head. "Forget it. We don't know where they are now. We didn't encounter any danger either. Let's continue." It seemed like Deputy Commander-in-Chief Li's ultimate move of acting pitiful did not need to be used. Deputy Commander-in-Chief probably did not expect these fellows to go crazy the moment they entered. As for Fong Ping and the others, Du Hong felt that even if they did not die, they would be in an extremely pitiful state now. Perhaps they were being hunted by many powerhouses. Perhaps someone had already died. Perhaps they were completely wiped out. Du Hong sighed in his heart. What a pity! If Fong Ping and the others had really followed him, they would be much safer now. Nothing would happen to them. Right now, their lives would probably be extremely pitiful. Ah, a shrill scream was heard. In the forest, Fong Ping's screams were heard again and again. Opposite him, Fong Mieshing and Huai's expressions were extremely ugly. "Mother of Asterisker, I was ambushed by you. Why are you screaming?" As they were thinking, Fong Ping looked furious and annoyed. He bellowed furiously, "How dare you drink my life essence? I'm going to kill you." "Bastard!" Fong Mieshing was furious. That was his. After being ambushed by Fong Ping earlier, he was slightly injured and drank a little bit of the fountain of life. In the end, this fellow was actually shameless to this extent. Did he do this? Kill. Fong Mieshing and Hui Muqing were furious. They had enough of such shamelessness. Previously, this fellow always ran after ambushing. This time, he did not run. If that was the case, then they would kill him. They were furious. Fong Ping was also furious to the extreme. Life essence. Their small flagon was filled with life essence. There was probably a lot of it, but now these people actually drank it in front of him. They deserve to be killed. They must be killed. As soon as the three of them came into contact, Feng Mieshing and Huai Muqing were dragged into the materialization by Fong Ping. As soon as they entered the hut, Feng Mieshing suddenly looked at Huai Muqing. This fellow was asking for it. Kill him. How stupid was it to use the materialization's core to fight? Huai Muqing did not move. He said quickly, "Try to kill him directly first." At this moment, Fong Ping did not leave. He had the attitude of fighting to the end. Moreover, he was still in the core of his materialization. He did not need to use his trump card. Feng Mieshing thought about it and agreed. He and Huai Muqing were both top-notch rank 6 powerhouses. If the two of them joined forces, they could even fight an early stage rank 7. They might be able to kill the other party. This time, the two of them did not waste time talking. One of them held a halberd, the other a long sword. Both were fine rank 8 divine weapons. They unleashed a powerful force and charged toward Fong Ping. In the hut, Fong Ping and the 3 shadows joined forces to besiege the two of them. The sounds of banging could be heard incessantly. However, Fong Ping soon had a headache. These two fellows were indeed the direct descendants of a paragon. They were wearing accessories that could seal off mentality. In his hut, including the shadows of Round Face and his parents, they were all mentality materializations. Their main attack was mentality as well. Not only were the two of them wearing these things, but the quality was probably the best too. Their bodies glowed continuously. The 3 shadows' attacks had a limited effect on them. Among the two of them, Feng Mieshing was mainly attacking Fong Ping, while Huai Muqing was mainly destroying the hut. Looking at Huai Muqing's ecstatic look, yelling at Feng Mieshing to hold Fong Ping back, Fong Ping was speechless. Destroy it all you want. If your F** King destruction speed is faster than my recovery speed, I'll consider you guys awesome. I've killed so many of you, and you still don't understand? So what if I'm the materialization core? Isn't it just consuming a little more mentality? Do you think I lack this bit of mentality? If you're so capable, smash the hut into pieces with one blow. Then I'll consider you the best. It'd be best if there's nothing left. Otherwise, even if there's only a little bit of wall dust left, I can still recover. I won't die. Of course, this was a good thing. These two idiots kept destroying the hut, so Fong Ping did not have to fight 1 against 2. Fong Ping and Feng Mieshing fought with all their might. It had to be said that this monster plant's royal court's commander-in-chief still had some skills. In the hut, Fong Ping's mentality suppressed him, but the other became braver the more he fought. Although he did not have any golden bones or anything, he was still evenly matched with Fong Ping. This was somewhat praising Fong Ping. The effect of Fong Ping's mentality suppression was weakened, but when the other fought, he relied almost entirely on his stronger physique, exchanging blows with the other. As they fought, Fong Ping still had the leisure to talk nonsense. He did not care about the damage to his physique, saying as he hacked, "How many of you have broken through?" Feng Mieshing said nothing, continuing to attack Fong Ping in a frenzy. "Did anyone go out? Why did you destroy the corpses? It's inhumane. I don't even know how many people died. Otherwise, I could calculate if there's anyone left alive." At this moment, more than half of the hut had been demolished. Beside him, Huai Muqing sneered. He was still so arrogant, even on the verge of death. Did this fellow from the land of rebirth really think that he was immortal? "Your Highness, why don't you give me the remaining divine weapons and other things, and I won't kill you?" How about that? Right, I heard that there's a true king hall in the royal court. All the true kings in the royal court are registered in the true king hall. How many true kings do you have here? This time, Feng Miesheng replied, sneering, in the true king hall, there are more than 100 lord true kings. Get lost. Feng Ping hacked off a few of his fingers while spitting out a few pieces of his internal organs, laughing. Seriously, how many do you have? I'll talk about our side first. We have 88 paragons here. How many do you have? I'll tell you when I'm dead. Feng Miesheng roared, striking with his halberd, causing Feng Ping's golden bones to crackle continuously. Feng Ping's saber slashed out countless shadows, slashing at the other party's chest until it rumbled. The other party also had an advanced internal armor. Feng Ping could not break it, but he had slashed Feng Miesheng until he spat blood. On the other side, the excitement in Huai Muqing's eyes intensified. Only a few walls were left of the small house that he had destroyed. Seeing his excited look, Feng Ping said helplessly, "Brother, is it fun to demolish a house?" "If it's fun, continue." As soon as he finished speaking, the dilapidated small house was restored to its original state in an instant. Huai Muqing was stunned at first. Then he flew into a rage. This time, Huai Muqing did not demolish the house. In a towering rage, he charged toward Feng Ping swiftly. Both of them were rank 6 powerhouses. When they attacked Feng Ping together, Feng Ping could only retreat in defeat. The damage caused by mentality had been weakened, and Feng Ping's combat strength had also been reduced. It was difficult for him to take down both of them in a short time. Similarly, even though both of them were forcing Feng Ping to retreat, they still had to divide their attention to defend against the damage caused by mentality. Although the mentality prohibition accessory could defend against mentality attacks, they still needed to expend energy to maintain it. Otherwise, their defense would be broken very quickly. The 3 of them were fighting fiercely in the house. Feng Miesheng and Jiang Chao could not see what was happening outside. However, both of them knew that Feng Ping's companions were definitely holding them back. Otherwise, those people would have come to help. They could not see it, but naturally, Feng Ping could. Right now, those people were actually in his small town. While he was fighting with both of them in the house, outside, Feng Ping was also expending his mentality continuously, isolating the small town area and trying to create opportunities for others. However, those buildings were more illusory after all. People were constantly breaking through them and gathering together. Moreover, some people knew that this was Feng Ping's materialized object. Some martial artists were using their ultimate moves to destroy the small town wantonly. Feng Ping's face was turning paler and paler. These people destroying the small town would also hurt his mentality. Seeing that Jiang Chao and the 3 mentality-vitality fusion powerhouses were almost gathered together, Feng Ping did not care about this anymore. He blocked the long halberd's attack with his saber and said again, "Princes, why don't we coexist peacefully? If we continue killing like this, it won't be worth it if others take advantage of us. I can sense it. The people from the Monster Life Royal Court seem to be following us." Die. Feng Miesheng was furious. "You've killed so many of our people, and now you want to coexist peacefully?" The people from the Monster Life Royal Court were weaker than them previously. If this guy had not killed them so miserably, why would they be afraid of that witch? The enraged Feng Miesheng's strength increased by another 30%, forcing Feng Ping to retreat continuously. Beside him, Huai Muqing's sword was also cunning, his sword not leaving Feng Ping's vital points. Feng Ping had vital points, and there were many of them. Although his skull had turned into a golden bone, even so his eyes, his mouth, these were all vital parts. If a sword pierced through Feng Ping's eyes and crushed his brain, Feng Ping would also die. There were also parts like his heart. Golden bones were difficult to crush, but if his heart was completely crushed, Fong Ping would not have a chance to recover. Both of them were not newbies fighting for the first time. After a few exchanges, they had already figured out Fong Ping's vital points. Feng Miesheng fought Fong Ping head-on. Huai Muqing kept looking for opportunities, and every time he went straight for the vital points. Fong Ping was getting a headache from this guy's attacks. He used his forehead to block a few swords, and every time his forehead would be stabbed with a loud bang. If this went on, Fong Ping felt like he was going to be beaten silly like Iron Head. Even though he was beaten to a bloody pulp, Fong Ping still could not stay idle. Prince Huai, that's the name, right? Are you related to that? King Huai? As soon as he said that, Huai Muqing continued to attack while sneering. I didn't expect the royal ancestors' fame to have spread in the land of rebirth. Fong Ping sneered. Yes, it has spread. I've also just heard that King Huai was previously disciplined by Warlord like a dog, and he fled in a panic. Oh, right, you guys know our language. Do you know what a dog is? Damn it! How dare you insult the royal ancestor? Chapter 575. After all, even in the restricted area, these people would not casually insult the humans' paragons because it was really dangerous. If the humans' paragons were enraged and suddenly went berserk, no one would say anything if they killed them. Of course, this possibility was almost non-existent. The humans' paragons were not that free. These people would not recklessly attack the restricted area. However, it was common sense in the catacombs to maintain the necessary respect for true king powerhouses. Feng Miesheng's expression was also ugly. He said coldly, "Resurrected martial artist, leave your name. You have the right to let me remember you. In the future, all resurrected martial artists who are related to you must die." As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping's nose twitched. A black object smashed onto Feng Miesheng's head. Fong Ping grinned. Booger. I have it. I haven't given birth in a long time. You want more? Bastard. Feng Miesheng was going crazy. He roared, Huai Muqing, kill him. The martial artists of the land of rebirth were too shameless. They did not have the demeanor of a martial arts powerhouse. Although he had not fought with the resurrected martial artists before, there were people from the royal court and his family. Even though his father's generation and his ancestors fought with the resurrected martial artists endlessly, and their hatred was as deep as the sea, they had once told him that the resurrected martial artists were hot-blooded and had strong martial willpower. However, this bastard had completely overturned his impression of the resurrected martial artists. He insulted the true king. While he was still fighting, he threw booger at him. Feng Miesheng felt like he was going crazy. He was mad. Was this guy really a martial artist from the land of rebirth? As soon as Feng Miesheng finished speaking, Huai Muqing's expression changed slightly. Then he hesitated no more. This guy was too hard to kill. He was really too hard to kill. Both of them joined forces to attack him. Other than causing some flesh wounds, his internal injuries were not serious. If this went on, they did not know how long it would take to kill him. Feng Miesheng unleashed his power once again. He used all his strength to entangle Fong Ping. He roared, "Before you die, I'll give you a chance. Leave your name." Fong Ping glanced at Huai Muqing, who was spurting blood at the long sword. His gaze was solemn, but he smiled. Jiang Chao, the descendant of Warlord. If you have the guts, go and kill my ancestor. Descendant of the Battle King, Feng Miesheng's expression changed slightly. He gritted his teeth and said, "You're Jiang Hao's younger brother, his only younger brother. You deserve to die even more." Even Huai Muqing, who was currently coughing up blood, roared furiously, "I'll kill you." All descendants of the Battle King should be killed. Fang Ping was speechless when he saw how furious the two of them were. Damn, this identity doesn't seem too good. These two fellows were about to go berserk. What was Jiang Hao, the pervert, that Jiang Chao had mentioned? There was no need for Fang Ping to guess. Huai Muqing's eyes were blood red as he roared furiously, Jiang Hao tortured and killed my father. A debt of blood must be paid in blood. Feng Miexing said coldly, Jiang Hao's younger brother, I didn't expect you to have the guts to enter the arena. Even if we don't kill you today, you will die, without a doubt. Jiang Hao had tortured and killed too many martial artists in the rank 7 area. That was a freak. In front of so many restricted area powerhouses, he even caught a royal court rank 7 at the entrance in the area where there was no exit and tortured and killed a true king's descendant, a woman, in front of dozens of rank 19. That day, it almost caused a riot among the rank 9s. If not for the human powerhouses constantly berating them with the Summit Accord, a war would have broken out long ago. Even so, Jiang Hao was also a rare public enemy in recent years, the public enemy of the 4 royal courts. That fellow did not just torture and kill people from the Monster Plant's royal court, but also other royal courts. Of course, Fang Ping naturally did not know about these. He felt a little depressed. F***CK. These two fellows had gone berserk. That Jiang Chao fellow. Damn, he had taken the blame for him. This time he was depressed. However, they were already mortal enemies. Fang Ping did not care too much about this. He was just a little curious. How many outrageous things had Jiang Chao's brother done? He was even more hated than himself. At this time, Huai Muqing, who was beside him, had already vomited 3 liters of blood. His long sword was suffused with a glaring blood-red color. Fang Ping's heart palpitated. He roared, "Kill me! I have the Battle King's secret technique to protect me. Let's die together." As soon as he said that, Huai Muqing's movements froze. Feng Miexing said furiously, "Kill him! I'll block it for you." Huai Muqing held the blood-red longsword in his hand. His face was deathly pale, his chi weak. He said in a low voice, "Let's do it together." Fang Ping's heart palpitated. Damn, they had really forced him to use his trump card. Fine, I'd better run away first. You force my hand. Let's perish together then. Fang Ping roared. His face turned pale instantly. Fresh blood spurted from his mouth, staining the Changdao red. Then, Fang Ping leaped into the air, ran out of the room, sealed the hut, and shouted, "Retreat!" After throwing these words, Fang Ping broke into a run. Inside the hut, Feng Miexing was stunned at first. Then, he roared furiously, "Bastard, kill him!" He was cursing Huai Muqing. "Why don't you do it?" He was frightened by the other party again. Huai Muqing's pale face turned red instantly. He was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. Die. In his rage, Huai Muqing no longer cared whether the fellow had a trump card to counterattack or not. The blood-red longsword in his hand slashed downwards. Boom! An earth-shattering explosion was heard. In the distance, Fang Ping, who was running away, was bleeding profusely from his 7 orifices. When the sword landed, his hut exploded instantly, turning into nothingness. The small town was also destroyed in an instant, vanishing without a trace. Fang Ping's gaze went blank for a moment, then returned to normal. A piece of floorboard appeared out of thin air in front of him. Luckily, I dismantled a piece before I left. Fang Ping's face was drained of all color. It was too scary. 1/ destroyed a rank 7 materialization directly, leaving nothing behind. This meant that killing a rank 7 martial artist was just a matter of 1/. The other party destroyed his hut, probably wanting to destroy his mentality in one go. If a rank 7 came here, he would be crippled even if he did not die. These fellows were strong, with a powerful ancestor. A rank 6 martial artist who could kill a rank 7 with one slash was even more ridiculous than him. Fong Ping watched as these two fellows destroyed the small town. Old Wang and the rest still had not retreated. On the other side, Jiang Chao was still circling around with the 3 mentality-vitality fusion. Fong Ping was about to break down. These fellows were too slow. If he ran away, they might not be able to run away. At the thought of this, Fong Ping, who was initially walking in the air, suddenly lost all signs of life. Then he fell from the sky, directly. On the ground, some trees were smashed into pieces. Not far away, Huai Muqing's face was pale, but he was overjoyed when he saw this. Feng Miesheng was also beaming with joy. This D*Ned fellow was finally dead. Mentality was destroyed. Even if he was a rank 9, he still had to die. Huai Muqing was still a little relieved. It was good that this fellow ran away. Otherwise, if he killed his physical body directly, the other party's battle king's ultimate skill might be unleashed. If Feng Miesheng did not block it for him, he would definitely die. Now that he ran away and destroyed his immortal god, the other party could not escape death. The result would be the same. Both of them could not care less about the others, quickly chasing after the place where Fong Ping fell. That fellow was really about to become their nightmare. As for Wang Jinyang and the rest, in their opinion, being entangled and without the help of Jiang Hao's younger brother, they would definitely die. They did not need to worry too much. Both of them quickly flew toward the place where Fong Ping fell. On the other side, Jiang Chao also saw Fong Ping falling, slightly frightened. Fong Ping was dead. The small city was destroyed in an instant earlier, disappearing without a trace. He also knew what happened. Fong Ping was killed just like that. If he unleashed his ultimate skill now, he would be finished. Just as Jiang Chao was considering whether to escape immediately, Li Hansong and the rest did not care about Fong Ping at all, roaring, "Fatty, hurry!" Jiang Chao's heart skipped a beat. These fellows did not seem to be sad. At this moment, Jiang Chao was struggling in his heart. Should he use his ultimate skill or not? The goal this time was to kill the 3 mentality-vitality fusion martial artists. Now, the 3 of them were less than 50 meters away from him, and they were all together. This was also caused by Fong Ping's mentality guidance earlier. If he unleashed it now, killing the 3 of them would not be a problem. However, if he unleashed it and Fong Ping died, he would not be able to escape. As for Wang Jinyang and the rest, it would be good enough if they could protect themselves. However, if he did not unleash it and Fong Ping did not die, he would have ruined his entire plan, and he would have offended him badly. A look of struggle flashed across his face. Jiang Chao gritted his teeth. F***CK. He would take the risk. That fellow was as cunning as a ghost. How could he die so easily? If Fong Ping did not die and he ran away, he would be in deep trouble in the future. Fong Ping, I'm betting my life. I'm such a coward. I'm betting my life here today. If you really become a paragon, countless thoughts surfaced in Jiang Chao's mind. Even at the last moment, he was still struggling. Betting my life. I'm most afraid of betting my life. What was wrong with him this time? He actually came to bet his life with these lunatics. His worldview was overturned. I won't be with them next time. Even if I have to invest, I want to stay safely at the back. Ancestor, please protect me. I can't die. This time, I'm risking my life for this. It's considered a friendship of life and death. If a few of these fellows really become paragons, then even if I'm not strong enough in the future, I'll still have a few paragons to protect me. I'll take the risk. Countless thoughts flashed through Jiang Chao's mind, but he did not waste any time. A piercing scream rang out. Jiang Chao stabbed his own heart, his feet flying toward the three mentality-vitality fusion martial artists. The moment the saber pierced his heart, an extremely powerful force erupted from his body. Fang Ping, I'm going all out. Jiang Chao roared. He was really going all out. If you die, I'm done for this time. Boom. A ray of light as dazzling as the sun rose. The light swept past. The three mentality-vitality fusion martial artists in front of him turned pale. They did not even have time to escape. The light swept past them, and they were turned into pieces. Jiang Chao's face was deathly pale. His entire body's vitality was depleted. He turned his head with difficulty to look in the direction where Fang Ping had fallen. If he really died, he would be done for. The moment he turned his head, Huai Muqing and Feng Mia seemed to be attracted by the commotion here. It was at this moment that a saber gleam, filled with endless celestiality, rose from the ground. Go to hell! Feng Miesheng leaped into the air, breaking into a run. As for the so-called blocking the saber for someone else earlier, that was a joke. Feng Miesheng's speed was faster than the saber gleam. Huai Muqing, who had just expended a lot of vitality, was a beat slower. The saber gleam flashed and disappeared. His entire person was cut in half instantly. Ancestor Wang, Huai Muqing only left this sentence behind. He still had too many plans that he had yet to carry out, too many missions that he had yet to complete. Before this, he had even considered ambushing Feng Miesheng, letting him unleash a death blow and perish together with the enemy. However, because he had the upper hand all along, he had given up on this plan. Who would have thought that the enemy whom he had killed in one blow would actually resurrect? Idiot! Fang Ping did not chase after Feng Miesheng. He cursed. You believed me when I pretended to be dead. How stupid are you? How many times have I used this trick of pretending to be dead? Before I had the ability to conceal my aura, he had done it countless times. Why don't these catacombs martial artists learn their lesson? That's true. You don't know anyway, Fang Ping muttered. Fang Ping mumbled. His opponent's previous attack was really powerful. Even now, his mentality had not recovered yet. Even if he kept replenishing it, the system's replenishment seemed to be slow this time. It had somewhat damaged his foundation. The remaining small piece of floorboard was also somewhat messy and broken. Fang Ping's head was still hurting. He did not loot the corpse. Fang Ping might as well be straightforward. He kept the other party's corpse and everything else. At the same time, he could also confirm whether he was dead or not. It would not be too late to loot it later. The moment Fang Ping killed Huai Muqing, Feng Miesheng fled. Not far away, Jiang Chao was so happy that he was about to explode. I won the bet. In the next moment, Jiang Chao roared. Brothers of one mind, our sharpness can cut through metal. We are brothers who have gone through thick and thin together. From now on, I'll rely on you guys to protect me. Fang Ping ignored him. He quickly rushed to Wang Jinyang and the rest's battle circle. As his mentality was shattered, Fang Ping could not use it for the time being. However, even if he did not use his mentality, coupled with the outburst of celestiality, his strength was not weaker than anyone. Yao Qingjun and the rest were also fighting with all their might. The Monster Plant's royal court martial artists had witnessed a series of unforeseen events with their own eyes. First, the three quasi-commanders were killed. Then, Prince Huai was killed. Prince Feng had fled. At this moment, they had long lost the will to fight. Some of them had already fled in all directions before Fang Ping had arrived. Fang Ping could not stop them now. Killing one was one. Those who did not have divine weapons ran away. Those who had divine weapons, Fong Ping kept a close eye on them. Looking at these people running away, Fong Ping roared, "Leave the divine weapons behind. Otherwise, I'll hunt you down to the end. I won't stop until you die." As soon as he said that, there were indeed two martial artists who had already run far away. They threw down the divine weapons in their hands and fled at high speed. Fong Ping pursed his lips. "I'm just scaring you guys. I don't have the time to hunt you down all over the world." After fighting with all their might for a while, as some people fled, the remaining people self-destructed in despair. Some were killed on the spot. As for Fong Ping and the rest, their faces were drained of color. They collapsed to the ground. Everyone was covered in blood, their injuries severe. Fong Ping panted heavily, grinning. "That Feng Miesheng is really a good guy. If he doesn't run, I'm afraid we'll be in big trouble." That fellow was also frightened by Fong Ping and fled immediately. Otherwise, Fong Ping, who could not use his mentality temporarily, Jiang Chao, who had lost his combat strength, Yao Qingjun, whose mentality was depleted with this group of defeated soldiers. Feng Miesheng might be able to single-handedly wipe them out. The few of them looked at each other, then burst into maniacal laughter. Sure enough, when encountering an enemy, one had to compete in terms of ruthlessness. If one looked more ruthless than the other party would naturally be afraid. After laughing for a while, Fong Ping said immediately, "Clean up the battlefield and loot. Retreat immediately. The people from the Monster Life Royal Court are not far from here. Hurry." The few of them were also veterans. They dared not delay and quickly began to clean up the battlefield. Fong Ping did not care about anything. He kept all the corpses into his storage space. It would not be too late to deal with them later. Beside him, Jiang Chao's face was blank. On one hand, he was shocked by the speed at which these fellows collected the corpses. On the other hand, he was shocked by the size of Fong Ping's storage ring. Don't be ridiculous. How could a storage ring researched by the government be this big? They had collected dozens of corpses. It was enough to fill up a whole house. As for Fong Ping and the rest, they quickly packed up everything. They grabbed Jiang Chao, who was still in a daze, concealed their auras, and fled quickly. Now that everyone was heavily injured and had no combat strength left, there was no way they could argue if they were taken advantage of. As they fled, Fong Ping laughed maniacally. He only smiled, but he did not make a sound. Too happy, too excited. He was rich. The place where the king battled was practically his blessed land. He had made up his mind. This time, he would not leave. He would not leave until he had stayed for a full month. If he left such a treasure place just like that, he would be really stupid. Not only was Fong Ping laughing maniacally, the rest of them were also grinning widely. Old Wang and Old Yao, the two fellows who had always been calm, were also wild with joy at this moment. Chapter 576. Not long after Fong Ping and the rest left, a group of people flew toward them, using flight step. The woman riding the tiger surveyed the area where everyone fought. Her gray pupils contracted slightly. Very quickly, she said coldly, "Search, see if there's anyone alive." The crowd dispersed quickly. The woman landed on the ground with a few powerhouses to observe the results. After a while, the woman's expression changed. "Huai Muqing is dead." "What?" Someone exclaimed in shock. "Huai Muqing is dead. What about Feng Miesheng? He shouldn't be dead." There are no signs of his outburst here. The woman looked around and murmured, "There aren't too many opponents. 4 to 5 people. It should be 5. One of them activated the protective secret art left behind by the true king. He should be the true king's descendant from the land of rebirth. One of them uses his fists and has the strength of a peak warrior to a quasi-commander. His defense is extremely strong. One of them uses a saber and has a strong explosive force. He also has the strength of a quasi-commander. There's another one. I think he's a commander level. No, a pure, immortal god. The woman shook her head. She could not tell for a moment. A luxuriously dressed young man beside her asked softly, "What about the other one?" "There's another one." The woman raised her eyebrows, her gaze solemn. A powerhouse who might have wiped out the entire kingdom's martial artists. Huai Muqing must have activated the true king's secret art, but he's still dead. This person left almost no traces. The only thing left is a saber mark. As she spoke, the woman waved her hand. A boulder fell in front of her. The boulder had been completely cut in half. The woman touched it and said softly, "It's not a commander level. It's more like a quasi-commander's divine power outburst." A same-rank martial artist killed Huai Muqing. I don't know if Feng Miexing is still alive. At this point, the woman's expression turned solemn. She shouted, "Be careful! A powerful enemy has appeared in the land of rebirth. A powerful enemy more dangerous than a rank 7. Even a rank 7 martial artist could not easily wipe out a kingdom's team. The probability of being killed was even higher. Dozens of quasi-commanders and dozens of peak warriors. A team like this was enough to kill a few early-stage commander-level powerhouses. Even a middle-stage commander-level powerhouse might not be able to wipe out this team. If he really wanted to do it, he would have to at least command a high-level expert, or even a peak expert. And now, this team of only 5 people had defeated the Monster Plant's royal court. Even if they didn't see the corpses from the remaining bloodstains, marks, and traces of escape, the Monster Plant's royal court's team might have really been destroyed. As soon as the woman's voice fell, everyone immediately became vigilant. A moment later, the scouting team returned. Someone quickly reported, "Your Highness, Feng Miexing is still alive. I saw him. He's gathering the remaining soldiers. The Plant Monster Clan seems to have less than 10 people left." The woman's expression changed slightly. There were only so few people left. When she thought up to this point, the woman suddenly said, "Let's go and kill them. This time, there's a great enemy in the king battleground." "Yes," everyone responded. The woman looked around and glanced in the direction where Feng Ping and the rest had left, but she did not say anything. She patted the tiger, and it soared into the sky, roaring as it chased after Feng Miexing and the rest. She decided to kill Feng Miexing and the others first. As for the team of 5, the woman's expression was rather grim. They had only entered for a day, and the Monster Plant clan had already been wiped out. It was better to be more careful. After killing Feng Miexing and the rest, they could not advance anymore. They had to wait for the few quasi-commanders to break through before they could continue. This time, the king battleground was very dangerous. The land of rebirth, the woman rode the tiger forward, murmuring in her heart. Father Wang and the rest wanted to join forces with the Monster Plant clan and kill their way into the land of rebirth together. Would it really work? The land of rebirth was not completely defenseless. True king powerhouses like the Netherworld King, Martial King, and Battle King were well known even to her. A top-notch true king, like the suppressing Heavenly King, was rumored to be comparable to the legendary Two Kings. If the Two Kings did not appear, would it really work? The woman sighed softly. It was a pity that her ability was too weak to influence the palace's decision. At the same time, Feng Miexing was like a wounded lone wolf, his eyes bloodshot. He looked around, seemingly crying and laughing at the same time. They had suffered a crushing defeat. He did not expect that after entering for only a day, most of the palace powerhouses were already dead. 128 people had entered the king battleground. At this moment, including himself, there were only 8 people beside him. When they came, they were full of lofty sentiments. At this moment, they were like stray dogs. After gathering these defeated soldiers, apart from him, there was no one else who could achieve mentality-vitality fusion. Feng Miexing watched for a while. He did not know if anyone else had escaped, but now there were only so many people he could gather. Let's go. Let's meet up with Bai Qing and the rest. Feng Miexing's eyes were bloodshot. There was still a chance. The 3 peak quasi-commanders were not dead yet. They were still in the process of breaking through. When they had broken through, there was still a chance. Behind him, an armored peak rank, 6 martial artist's face was as white as a sheet. He trembled and said, "Prince Feng, are we still going to stay here?" Be ****. Useless. Feng Miexing scolded for a while. After a while, he suddenly felt dejected. Then he regained his cold expression and said, "You go back through the entrance now. Go back and tell Uncle Wang everything that has happened here. Ask Uncle Wang to send people into the unified territory and inform Brother Wang. Ask them to break through the wall and come here. This time, I am not satisfied. Are you satisfied? If I don't kill the Battle King's descendants, I won't be at peace. Jiang Hao's younger brother's crime is unforgivable. All the descendants of Warlord deserve to die. No matter the price, they must be killed. Also, Feng Lan, bring a few people and look for the other people from the royal court who are still here. Inform the affiliated dynasties and sects to come here and listen to my orders." Feng Miexing gave orders one after another. This time, he was not satisfied. Jiang Chao, he must kill him. Although many of the newcomers had died, there were still some people from the royal court from 3 years ago or even earlier who were still here in the battlefield. Some people from affiliated dynasties and sects were here too. If the people from the royal court of the unified territory could find the weak point of the border wall and break through it, Jiang Chao would definitely die. Definitely. If it was someone else, the people from the unified territory might not come. However, it was Jiang Hao's younger brother now. In that case, those people would definitely come. As long as he killed Warlord's descendant, even if such a huge incident had happened this time, he could still redeem himself with merit. If he killed Warlord's descendant, perhaps his merit would be even greater. Netherworld King, Warlord, these 2 top-notch descendants of the true kings from the land of rebirth have been killed. I will only be rewarded. As Feng Miexing thought about it, he thought about the person who had unleashed the true king's protective secret technique earlier. Who was that? To have such a true king's protective secret technique, he must be a descendant that the true king valued. I didn't expect that so many important people would enter the land of rebirth this time. Feng Miexing thought about this as he led his people forward at high speed. There were many descendants of the true king. Some of them had been passed down for more than 10 generations. Why would they care about those descendants whose bloodlines were extremely distant? However, that fatty had unleashed the true king's protective secret technique. He was definitely one of the people that the true king valued, in addition to Jiang Chao and the Netherworld King's grandson. If he killed these 3 people, it would not be considered a failure to enter the land of rebirth this time. Fang Ping did not know what the Monster Life Royal Court woman and Feng Miexing were planning. He did not care either. At this moment, Fang Ping and the others had already hidden in a cave. After sealing the cave with a boulder, Fang Ping managed to set up a thin layer of mentality barrier. Then, he collapsed on the ground. The others did the same. A few of them lay on the cold and damp stone ground. In the next moment, they all burst out laughing. "Awesome! I'm rich!" Fang Ping laughed. Even now, his head was still splitting. Fong Ping could not help but feel excited and agitated. The others were the same. Jiang Chao had already started consuming the life essence. This fatty had brought quite a lot with him this time. As he drank, he hesitated whether he should give some to the others. However, after taking a look and seeing that the others did not seem to be too badly injured, Jiang Chao gave up the idea. It was better to save some for himself. After drinking the life essence, Jiang Chao immediately shifted his gaze to Fong Ping. He praised loudly, "Fong Ping, you're amazing. Too amazing. This time, you've made a name for yourselves in the restricted area. A few of you have annihilated a team of more than 100 people from the Monster Plant's royal court. This is practically comparable to the contribution of exterminating a cave. When you return to Earth, even the top will celebrate for you." The fatty was flattering him nonstop. In the end, he even said smugly, "Of course, I've also contributed a little, but I won't take credit for it. It's mainly because the few of you leaders are good. This time, I've annihilated 3 people who have achieved mentality-vitality fusion. In this generation of Constellation City, there are not many who have contributed more than me. Fong Ping, you guys have to be my witness." Fong Ping ignored him and began to pour things out. Divine weapons, one after another, one after another. Even the rich and overbearing Jiang Chao could not speak at this time. With a gulp, he swallowed his saliva. Constellation City had divine weapons, and there were quite a few of them. Adding the 13 families together, there were probably close to 100 divine weapons. Of course, most of them were rank 7s. There were not many rank 8s. The old ancestors could kill some rank 7s. As long as it was not too eye-catching, not many people would care. But they could kill rank 8s. Rank 8 golden bodies. That was the realm of gods and Buddhas. The death of such a powerhouse could possibly cause a huge uproar. Rank 7s were commander-level powerhouses. Commander-level powerhouses were also only the commander level of an area. Rank 8s were venerables. The so-called venerables also carried some meaning that everyone had to respect, including in the restricted areas. Rank 9s were known as kings in the outlands. In order to avoid being a true king, the restricted areas called them the Divine General Realm, with the word God in it. Even if they were only generals of the gods, they were still incomparably honorable. Therefore, among the close to 100 divine weapons in Constellation City, there were only a few rank 8s and 9s. There were only 60 to 70 rank 7s, and this was the accumulation of the 13 families. As for Fong Ping, how many had he taken out now? Jiang Chao glanced at them. There were probably no less than 50 of them. At this moment, Fong Ping stopped what he was doing. The joy on his face diminished slightly, and he said with some dissatisfaction, "I remember that they had more than 70 over there. Some people ran away. Logically speaking, there should be around 60 of them. Why are there only 56 of them?" 56. Jiang Chao really swallowed hard. Mother asterisk cur. This was a wave of wealth. These people were really terrifying. Yet, they were still not satisfied with this. Fong Ping had exposed so much of his wealth. Even the paragons would probably want to rob him. Was he not afraid of being hacked to death? No, this guy wouldn't kill him to silence him. Would he? Out of everyone present, he seemed like an outsider. Thinking of this, Jiang Chao shuddered. Fong Ping glanced at him out of the corner of his eye. He smiled and said, "Fatty, what's wrong? Are you feeling cold because your injuries are too severe?" No. Fong Ping laughed and said, Fong Ping, will not attack unless I am attacked. Of course, I also repay favors and share blessings. This time, you killed 3 mentality-vitality fusion and used your ultimate move. I won't let you suffer any losses. Last time, I took a pair of combat boots from you. Now, I'll give you another pair. How's that? Jiang Chao laughed dryly. That, no need. Really, don't. Won't that make me, Fong Ping, seem too stingy? Am I, Fong Ping, that kind of person? No, no. As Jiang Chao spoke, Fong Ping had already tossed a pair of boots that he had just pulled off. He smiled and said, "This is for you. The quality isn't bad." Jiang Chao received it gingerly, calculating in his heart. Was this considered hush money? Fong Ping did not say much. He continued, "Other than the divine weapons, there are also quite a number of accessories that can block mentality. In total, there are 6 pieces. I think Fong Extermination took a few of them." At this point, Fong Ping's expression did not look too good. There were fewer divine weapons and fewer accessories that could block mentality. The reason was that Fong Extermination had taken away some of the people he had killed earlier. Other than the halberd, there seemed to be a few other divine weapons on him. There were probably some accessories that could block mentality too. Fong Ping did not say much. He said quickly, 55 divine weapons. 1 rank, 8. It was left behind by that Huai Muqing. 3 peak rank, 7. 5 upper stage rank, 7, 8 middle stage, and 38 early stage. In terms of money, it's about 640 billion to 650 billion. There are 6 accessories that can block mentality, about 15 caddies. That's 100 billion. Other than these, there are some miscellaneous items. Some energy stones, energy fruits, monster armor. It's still worth 100 billion. Also, some people have some life essence on them, but it's not much. They've used more than half of it. Only a few caddies left. In total, the harvest this time is 900 billion. Does anyone have any objections? Li Hansong's mouth was almost crooked from smiling. How could he have any objections? He said immediately, "No." Yao Chengjuan's expression changed again and again. This was his first time entering the catacombs with Fong Ping. However, this was the first time he felt that he had really learned something new. Earning money. Was this how it was earned? Over at the martial arts universities, everyone was saying that MCMU's Fong Ping was rich and overbearing. His net worth was comparable to a rank 9. No, even a rank 9 was not as rich as him. They did not have much of a concept before. Now they did. Could a rank 9 be as rich as Fong Ping? This was not an issue of money. Did the government not have money if it was less than 1 trillion? The wealth that the government possessed was countless times more than 1 trillion. The key issue was that although martial artists' cultivation resources could be replaced with money, it did not mean that 1 trillion could buy them. If they used 1 trillion to buy 55 divine weapons, the government would probably fork out the money immediately. When there was a lot of money, it was just numbers and paper. If martial arts resources were really exchanged with money, then the economy would have collapsed long ago. The martial arts universities used credits to exchange. The military department used military merits to exchange. And the other departments also had their own conversion methods. It almost did not involve real money. All in all, Fong Ping said that it was worth 900 billion. If they really wanted to use money, they might not be able to buy it even if they had 10 times the money. At this moment, the few of them were already lost in their fantasies. Fong Ping was still calm. He said, "According to the previous distribution, I can get 450 billion worth of things." As he said that, Fong Ping coughed dryly. He looked at Jiang Chao again and said, "Many of the things here were obtained by us before, not this time." So, on your side, Jiang Chao was extremely tactful. He immediately said, "Understood. Don't worry, I know. If you can get a divine weapon by killing 3 mentality-vitality fusion, you can make those rank 7 and 8 martial artists sell their lives for it once." Jiang Chao's face was full of agreement. Giving me a divine weapon is enough. You don't have to give any more. If I give more, I'm afraid that you wolves will kill me. These fellows were all people who valued money more than their lives. Giving them a divine weapon was already good enough. Fang Ping grinned and said, "Fatty, we're too poor. We won't stand on ceremony with you then. How about this? Life essence, energy stones, and other miscellaneous items will all belong to me. I also want 3 accessories that can block mentality. Let's make it 200 billion. As for divine weapons, I want a rank 8 longsword. I'll pick 20 more rank 7 beginner stage, middle stage, and upper stage ones. The rest will belong to you guys. How about that?" Li Hansong said hurriedly. "No problem. Can I get 135 billion? As he said that, Li Hansong grinned. "I want a mentality block accessory and 10 rank 7 divine weapons. That should be enough, right?" Beside him, Wang Jinyang also said, "Me too." Yao Chengjun didn't say anything. The rest belonged to him. He could still take 14 divine weapons and an accessory that could seal one's spirit. Such a harvest. Yao Chengjun was a little dazed for a moment. Was he dreaming? Fang Ping did not care about them. He was stingy to some people, but generous to others. He was not stingy to those who were willing to risk their lives with him and stood up to him during critical moments. For old Wang and the rest, even if Fang Ping gave them 3 to 5 divine weapons, they probably would not say anything. However, old Wang and Ironhead had risked their lives with him more than once or twice. As for Yao Chengjun, although it was his first time entering the catacombs with Fang Ping, he was not careless when it was time to attack. Even a fool knew how dangerous it was to ambush the other party at the entrance. Yao Chengjun was not too clear about Fang Ping's tactics, but he still stayed without hesitation. He did not even consider it. As for the others, they all ran away quickly. Even Jiang Chao, although he stayed, he left in the end because he was not sure that Fang Ping and the rest could do it. Staying meant that they were willing to live and die together. That meant they were brothers. It was enough for Fang Ping to take the majority. He would not deliberately deduct from these people. If this happened too many times, everyone would be disappointed, even if Fang Ping gave them a lot. After Fang Ping was done with the distribution, he started waiting. This time, he was divided into 450 billion, of which 130 billion had been settled previously. Logically speaking, he could still add more than 300 billion wealth. After the distribution was completed, if the system judged that there was no danger, he should be able to increase his wealth. This was also a hidden function. Fang Ping had now discovered that the system judged whether he was out of danger based on the surrounding environment and the threat level. System, could it be that it can monitor the surrounding environment? A strange thought arose in Fang Ping's mind. Maybe previously in the Tian'an catacombs, because they were always at the edge of the Forbidden Sea, they did not increase his wealth. After that, even when he went to the area where the grandmasters were in Sino Nation, he did not increase his wealth. Because there was still a large group of rank 9s opposite him. This kind of danger was actually unknown. It was not right in front of him. However, the system still judged that he was in danger. A thought arose in Fang Ping's mind, but he did not think too deeply about it. Sometimes it was useless to think about it. The him now was still too weak. There was no need to think about these useless things. This time, the danger was determined very quickly. There should not be any creatures or environment that could threaten Fang Ping's life in the surrounding. His wealth changed rapidly. Wealth, 950 billion, conversion, vitality, 8,620 calories, 9,633 calories. Mentality, 120 hertz, 1,469 hertz. Bone honing, 177 bones, 100%. 29 bones, 90%. Storage space, 100 cubic meters plus. Energy shield, 10,000 wealth/minute plus. Aura simulation, 100,000 wealth/minute plus. Previously, in order to conceal the other's auras and recover mentality and vitality, Fang Ping had expended a lot of wealth. After some calculations, the increase in wealth was about 310 billion. It should not have reached 320 billion. Fang Ping did not care too much. It was normal for there to be a little difference. Just a little more, and I can reach 1,000,000,000,000. Fang Ping felt a little emotional. Previously, he thought that 1,000,000,000,000 was far away, but now he was only a step away. As for the so-called a little more than 50 billion, Fang Ping felt that it was nothing. In a treasure land like the King battlefield, it was just a drizzle. 50 billion. After killing Feng extermination, it would reach 1,000,000,000,000 without doing anything. His rank, 8 divine weapon-long halberd alone, could probably make Fang Ping's wealth break through to 1,000,000,000,000. Not to mention that the fellow still had a lot of good stuff on him. After killing Feng extermination, Fang Ping felt that it would not be difficult to increase his wealth by more than 100 billion. My mentality has been severely damaged. It's actually so difficult to recover this time. Fang Ping frowned slightly. In the past, he thought that as long as his mentality was not destroyed, even if there was a trace left, he could recover quickly. Looking at it now, there was still some difference. This time, his foundation was probably damaged. Theoretically, a mentality of more than 1,000 hertz should be recovered with 1,000,000 wealth. But now, Fang Ping's wealth was being consumed in large amounts to repair his mentality. However, the speed at which his mentality was increasing was not as fast as expected. Previously, it was 1,000 wealth to recover 1 hertz. Now, it had increased by at least 100 times. 100,000 was needed to recover about 1 hertz, but fortunately, it's still recovering. It's only a little more than 100 million consumed. It's considered not bad to be able to recover my damaged mentality. If it were another rank 7 or 8 martial artist, they would probably have collapsed at this point. On Nanjiang's side, Zhang Dingnan's mentality had been damaged previously. He had spent a long time to repair and nurture it. Until now, he might not have fully recovered. Actually, Fang Ping's injuries were more serious than his. But looking at the situation, he should be able to recover completely in an hour or so. While Fang Ping was healing, he said with a smile, "In for a penny, in for a pound. We and the people from the Monster Plant's royal court will not rest until one of us is dead. This time, no matter what, we must kill them. They don't have many people left now, 10 at most. When we recover, we'll continue hunting." Beside him, Jiang Chao looked helpless. They still had to go after them. Damn it, following these guys is really exciting. When he was still thinking about this, a few sets of armor appeared in front of Fang Ping. Fang Ping put on a set. Old Wang and Ironhead also picked up a set and put it on naturally. Then he saw that Fang Ping had even distributed the wig and headgear. Jiang Chao was dumbfounded, muttering, "What are you doing?" Li Hansong chuckled. "There aren't many people from the Monster Plant's royal court now. We'll see if we can impersonate them. If we meet other people on the way, we'll kill them along the way." Fang Ping did not say much. He did not plan to change Fatty's aura either. Changing the aura of all 5 people would consume too much. 1 billion per minute. He could not afford it. However, changing 2 people's auras and shielding 2 people's auras would not consume too much. He would see if there was a chance to use the identity of a Monster Plant's royal court martial artist to kill some people easily. Fong Ping was tired of always killing. Everyone heal. When your injuries are healed, we'll go sweep again. Everyone did not delay. Fong Ping was not stingy either. He took out a lot of life essence and energy stones for everyone to heal. This time, not only did he want to rush to trillions of wealth, he wanted more. If he missed this opportunity, there would not be much hope if he wanted to get so much in the future. The king's battleground. Would he have the chance to come next time? You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.